Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Curse of Strahd Aviendahl homebrew campaign. That's a lot of things to say. I am your dungeon master. I am Zanny the Storm Meeple, and today I am joined by a host of characters, some which you have met from our previous game, and some which you haven't. So let's just go down the line and introduce ourselves quickly. Let's start with Kellum.
Hi everyone, this is Kellum. I'm playing Dario, which is a Yanti purebred hexblade, and even to everybody, and hope everybody's having a good day in the States on their holiday, and the Rebels Independence Day if you're overseas.
Fantastic. Brilliant. And next up we have Sithis.
Hi, I'm Sithis Plays. I'm doing some nuke streams on my own time, and I play the Elven Monk today. How are you? Hello, and happy 4th of July. Good Morocco.
Morocco. Love it. All right, fantastic. Moving on. Our player who wasn't able to join us last week, but was with us in a small gooey spirit.
Hi, my name is also Xander, but you can call me Bob either way. I am playing Melmon, the Barbarian Slime, and yes, that sounds equally as silly as it did coming out of my mouth as I thought it would. And last session, I believe I was asleep in somebody's arms, which was interesting.
It's cute.
You have a purple backpack.
Yes, I was also in a backpack at one point. Didn't I wear a wizard hat at one point, like just for the lulz of it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, you were wearing a tiny illusionary little hat.
Oh, that's cute. Well, Melmon, for lack of a description from last game, he is a green gumdrop-shaped slime that has little pink rosy cheeks that look like he's constantly blushing, but they seem to just be part of his slime color scheme. His namesake is that he looks sort of the color scheme of a melon. That's why he's named Melmon. Mellowmon, sorry, Mellowmon.
Mellowmon, because he's pretty chill as well. Yeah, it's pretty chill.
Yeah,
it's quite mellow.
he is very chill. He's constantly sleeping. I run a little stream off to the side. It's just Bob variety streaming every now and then. But I'm glad to participate in today's game.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today. And it's great to have you, because I know last time you were a bit devastated last time. You're like, I wanted to play but I couldn't quite get there.
I was so excited too. I got that stomach flu and it was not fun.
All right, and the next person is our flashy caster. Let's hear from well, flashy or not so flashy, depending on how he feels. Next is from Zario. It's Zario, isn't it? Yeah.
Hello everybody, my name is Nick. For this session I was able to fix my audio a bit. I am playing, as last time, Zario, Divine Soul Sorcerer, that still the carrier of our last companion that I hope will join us in spirit as well as in body this session.
Okay, fantastic. And lastly, but of course not leastly, you're Casey.
Hi, yeah, I'm Casey. I'm playing William the Life Cleric. Ready to deal out some health to all you guys.
Fantastic. I want to quickly shamelessly plug our World Anvil site. If you fancy learning a bit more about the characters, their backgrounds, their stories, you want to follow them and watch them as they progress and their sheets develop over time and what skills and abilities they have. Please follow our characters and maybe even our world at Aviendahl on World Anvil, because that's what I'm constantly updating it. It's now the holidays, so I have a lot more time to add to it. So hopefully you'll be seeing more and more articles being added to it over time. At the moment, there's only a few little articles because we just started it off, but I'm hoping you'll see more and more over the next couple of weeks being loaded up, because I've got a lot to do with this world and I haven't had the time to do it yet. This is the first time I've actually had some free time, that mythical thing, free time, to some work on my own D&D world. So, by the way, just to let you know, a lot of our maps are original, but they are drawn on basically what amounts to a workbook, because I've got mapping software, but I'm nowhere near ready to use it yet, and so I've gone old school with my D&D maps, hand-drawn, using fine liner black pens. What we're going to do is we're going to make the maps available on our Patreon, though. So if you're if you're one of our patrons, if you want to use our maps, no matter what your tier, it doesn't matter what you are, we'll make the maps available to you, so that you can use them. They'll also be on our World Devil site if you want to see them. Hey. Okay, guys. So let's do a little clarification. First of all, Charon, our Brave Cleric, while with us, will not be being run by Kitten today, and neither will our I can't remember the names at the moment. Yes, our Dragonborn character Canary will not be joining us as well because of she has to go to her family's the 4th of July, and because Kitten is not feeling very well, unfortunately, today. Although she's in chat, she just doesn't feel like she can play today. It's a big commitment. It's just a lot of mental effort to be your character when you're not feeling very well. So that's to clarify that. I also want to clarify. Wow, we got another follower. So we've had 2 followers. Wow, thank you, Aaron Salling, and thank you to is it Goop Paints? Was it Goomba Paints? Sorry, Goomba Paints, not Goop Paints. Thank you very much for following us. That's really kind of you. So, just to clarify for our new listeners, here basically what's been happening and what's happened in the last session, and a few rules that we employ in this game. First of all, we will be using the Cardic Inspiration system. That means that you will be receiving a card when we begin playing. This will be a card that you can employ any time in this game. It will not transfer over to the next game. You can use this when you roll for a test, or you try an attack, or you roll for your armor. And you can use it at any of those points. However, you have to tell me before I tell you whether there is a success or fail. So, like if you roll to do a wisdom check or something, you want to do a check that requires a wisdom test, then that's we need to know whether you're going to do it before we know whether it's a success or fail. You can do it after the roll before we know the success or fail. We came to the agreement that if you were going to be using it to try and affect someone's ability to dodge a spell, that if it was basically if it was a 2 to 5 would add 1, and a 5 to 10 would add 6 to 10 would add 2 to the result, make it more difficult, and as usual an ace would be an automatic hit. So basically aces are critical hits. So if you get an ace and you play it, you can turn a hit into a critical hit, and automatic and will hit. If you get a 2 to a 10, it's that number, and face cards are also 10s. I will also be receiving a Cardic Inspiration, and I will be able to use it at any point in order to boost one of my evil characters. So watch out, you never know when I might use it. The other things we'll be using is critical injury tables and substantial injury tables and critical strike tables. So we'll be using those in the game as well. In the last game, we started off with our intrepid adventurers in the city of Manathair at the Wayfarers Guild. They had been invited to the Wayfarers Guild by Lazarus Torundeep, who is the guild master of the Wayfarers, also known as the Order of Macaria. They had been summoned not only to receive their Wayfarer pendants, their small amount of gold that they received for joining, and also in order to be welcomed and greeted by the guildmaster themselves, but also because he had a job for them. He needed people who were not tied into the local politics of the area, people who were new to the area. Plus, he was very short on wayfarers who would be able to actually engage in this quest. So he basically enlisted you under the directions of the Triumvirate, the government who rules the city of Manathair, from the basilica. Basically, he contacted them. They contacted him, and they requested that you go. You were actually introduced to the 3 members of the triumvirate, and they looked at you begrudgingly and decided that they wanted you to undertake the quest. Basically, what's happened is an outpost village known as Caer Matthias, a fortified elvish settlement about a few miles south of Athel Forest, which is about 7 miles or so away from Manather. They wanted you to go to this place because they've lost contact with them. They realised, and the last thing they heard from this place was that their steam forge, the sort of mystical engine which helps run the protections of these cities, was damaged or was being erratic, and they weren't quite sure what was happening. But they knew that they needed to send some replacement parts in order to repair that steam forge. So they asked you to go to the city. You managed to lead down the Sithis Way. You left down the Sithis Way, which is a mystical road attaching Manather to several of its outposts. It is a warded road and is able to protect you from the undead that crowd outside the large sanctuary cities in an attempt to try and penetrate the walls that protect those cities. You managed to bypass the undead with no incidents until you arrived in a small forest, basically through the Aviendahl forest. And you passed through the forest again, no problems, until you reached a clearing, which was basically the Sithis Way spread out until it basically encompassed the entire clearing. There was a marker in the centre of the clearing. You can see where we are now on the map. And there was a young elvish woman propped up against a tree. It seemed to be in serious pain or unconscious. You checked the woman; she was alive, and you managed to stabilize her while the rest of the party was searching around the clearing. Our eagle-eyed individuals managed to find a couple of clues, scratch marks on a tree and a black feather hiding at the base of a tree, and so were relatively well prepared when a number of Kenku leapt down from the trees and attacked. You managed to slaughter the Kenku entirely, completely and utterly slaughter the Kenku, and this is where we left us in the last session. You are now surrounded by the bodies of 6 Kenku. One of them who is a bit further off down the path towards the south, because you managed to slaughter him off map. with some arrow shots. Was it an arrow shot that took him out, or was it a spell? I can't remember. It was one or the other. I should remember this.
Was it one by darts?
It was one of your darts, wasn't it? You're completely wrong. It was a dart that was thrown and took him out. That's right. Sithis' dart took him out. Carrier's dart took him out. So you have a number of Kenku bodies in this clearing, and you have an unconscious elven woman propped up against a tree. What do you want to do?
Okay, I believe I gave you guys 2 good berries that heal 4 each.
Yes, it's only been about 3 hours since you gave them to her, so give it to them, so that's fine.
Okay, so I think I am going to use my spell slot to run over and heal this unconscious elf lady. I will heal her with a Cure Wounds.
Alright. We cast Cure Wounds then?
For the least amount I can
8
do.
Yeah, 8 healing, no problem. Brilliant. Let me just quickly. I'm just going to give you a card of inspiration. 1 second. Give 1 card to everybody, all players, including me. There you go. Don't forget you can't look at the card until you decide to play it. Keep some mystery alive. Okay, so you cast 8. You cast. What does your healing look like, William?
Very bright light, like radiant, not like radiant, but radiant light.
Alright, so bright radiant light, it comes out of your hands. Okay, so this bright light sort of like licks over her wounds and seals them shut. Particularly the wound in her chest, which was the most severe. Short stabbing blades had done some severe damage to her. and you can see that the colour, she'd lost a lot of blood. It seems that some of the colour is returning to her cheeks, and her eyelids flutter for a moment as she blearily looks up at you in your metal mask. Probably not the most comforting of bedside individual manners. But she looks up at you and she's like, but you don't look undead. Let's put it that way, or like a kenku. So she looks up at you and she's like, what's happened? Where am I?
You're safe. I'm loyal.
Safe. My companions. Are they safe too?
I don't think we saw any companions, so I do not know that for sure.
No. None of them. Am I? Did you? Where are you from? Who sent you?
What is that town called?
Manather.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We're from Manather. We're heading towards Care Matthias, and we came upon you laying on the ground. It looks like you're attacked by these Kinku that we also killed.
Yes.
I helped to your feet.
We were sent out. We were sent out to head towards Manather. Our steam forge has been destroyed. We need help. We need aid. I was sent. I was sent with several of my companions. Lord Gideon Nighter, he sent us out from the fort, and we tried to raise Manather on the race song network. We couldn't hear anything. We couldn't get any answer. So why you were sent to help us from Manather? So you're aware,
Yeah.
icons of, just so you're aware, the icons of all players are covering the map. Oh, sorry. Sorry. 1 second. Let me sort this out. How can I? I think I need to make these icons a bit smaller. 1 second. Icons at the bottom.
If you go into Roll20 at the Roll20 settings, yeah, it should say like
It
just show names or something. A little bit higher. No, I think that's the drop-down menu. You just click that, and it should say.
Come in. Sorry. Excuse me, guys. Sorry.
Yes.
Oh gosh. Okay. Technical difficulties. Right back.
I think that's as small as we go unless you change it to just names.
Well, yeah, that's what I know that. I'm just like, we can't see the map. So
Please. Technical difficulties.
This is the one. So
Why is it right in the middle?
you just want to do Control minus, and what that'll do is it'll set it all a bit more.
Can we make them smaller?
Yep, like that. The only thing is you've got to be careful with OBS, but that'll do. Everyone can see. That's fine. So
Alright, okay.
Oh, didn't know that trick.
So,
Alright, thank you very much.
you're welcome.
Cheers. Okay,
You have to do
thanks
the
to... Sorry? It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, he's with you, so okay, just close it. We have cats in the house. For all of our viewers, the reason that we're so thinking about locking the door is that we have cats who can open the door. And should not be able to open the door. But they were trained by Kidney in order to open the door. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Let me get back to character. And now we can't see anything in the map. So 1 second. Can everybody?
Oh, the Roll20 and everything just disappeared on stream.
Yeah, the Roll20 disappeared on stream. Great. We're gonna be right back, guys. While we sort this out, okay? 1 second, sorry. We've lost the screen. Yeah.
Be back.
Okay, let's see if we fix it now. Because I did something stupid. There we go. I don't use OBS very often, guys. I'll be completely honest, because I am rubbish with it at the moment. So I have a very exasperated girlfriend in the chat right now. All right. So she looks at where were we? You were chatting with the elf. I need to replace her actually because she shouldn't be like that on the board now. I need to replace this one with this one. Okay, so she's standing now. Correct. Okay, so she says, oh, yes, we were being sent to Malathair. We were being sent to Malathair in order to retrieve the parts we need to fix the Stormforge. The Steamforge, but we were jumped on the way. There were some dark shapes that landed on us from above, and the last thing I felt was deep pain in my chest. And then everything was dark. So you've been sent from Malathair in order to help us.
Hold on, you said the Steamforge has been destroyed? Last we heard it was having some difficulties.
Yes.
Well, last I heard that they had to dismantle the entire thing in order to try and get it to work again. Nobody knows what happened to it, but some people are saying it was an act of sabotage. But there's some severe damage, and there are parts that we need that we cannot produce.
Well, we were given parts to repair this. I don't know. These parts will help. I believe somebody has them.
That would be
Karen.
Yep. That would be Kanari. That would be Kanari. She's carrying them. So Kanari sort of like comes forward and shuffles forward, and she just sort of like opens the bag here, like opens it, and shows it to her. I mean, you can see that the look on this elf's face is very positive. She's happy to see what looks like a load of metal and parts to her, but you can see also like a look of incomprehension on her face. Like, she has no idea whether these are the parts that you need in order to fix the Steamforge.
So she's not the mechanic.
She's not the mechanic. No, she's I'm only a guard. I work for the Wayfarers Guild in Caer Matias. I was hired to be a bodyguard. Oh, I've done a pathetic job at that, haven't I? I'm mainly a hunter. Look, Lord Gerion, he sent me in order to find the pieces that we need to fix the Steamforge. I can either, it looks like you've got the parts. I can take you back to Caer Matias and go with you if you want, or I can head along to Malathair and you know, let him know of your progress, that you managed to rescue me on your way. What would you like me to do?
Well, I don't think it's very safe to travel by yourself. And even in your weakened condition, I think you should travel with us.
Oh, I'd be very grateful. To be honest, I wasn't quite looking forward to the long trek on this way. This way all the way to Malathair. It's at least 4 hours trek. But if that's what you want, I'll definitely take you to Caer Matias. It's not that far.
Sounds good. Let's just get a move on.
That would be appreciated.
I'll go a bit faster with the guide.
My name is William, and you are?
Lovely to meet you, William. My name's Nelly Derry. Or you can call me Nelly for short. Nelly Derry Greenbow.
Alright, Nelly, I'm Kaori.
Nice to meet you, Carrie. I have to say, it's nice to see you. It's nice to see you. Such a very diverse group of adventurers coming this way. Are you all well experienced? Have you been doing this long?
I want to say that it's at this point that Melmon probably wakes up.
What's that?
Oh.
Is it?
And he's just like, hi, when I miss, my person. Oh, hi, my name is Malaman. I was asleep for most of the fight. Sorry, I was wait, there's a fight. Oh, I missed the battle. Okay.
Nidari's basically got really big eyes that are shining as she looks at Melamon. Like, she's really big, like, she's like reaching forward for him.
I pick him up and put him down on the ground.
He sort of does like this sort of elastic stretch, like his body sort of elongates, sort of like goes from like cube gumdrop shape to just elongate shape, and then slumps back down into sort of a little puddle, and then back to a little gumdrop shape, and then just sort of looks up at Nelly. Was it?
Sorry, Nelly for short.
Nelly for short. And just sort of looks up at him with a little very goofy smile. Is like, my name is Malman. I don't know if I said that already. I'm here to make friends and beat the baddies.
She like literally leans down and scoops you up.
Oh, we're flying now. Okay.
So, I'm carrying this. Got a problem with that?
No.
Don't you worry, Melamon. You don't get your little goopy feet dirty. Auntie Nelly will take care of you.
She just sort of like slumps like further into her arms.
Right. So she looks over at the rest of the party. So, do you want to head out now?
I would say, go ahead, Kelm.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just clearing my throat, guys. You're all right. Go ahead.
I'll say,
How far are
guys.
we?
Consensus.
How far are we from
At this point,
Karamatis?
From Karamatis, about I'd say, what about an hour away? I'd say if we walk at a brisk pace.
Well, we better get the move on then. Adventure! And he just sort of points a gooey little appendage forward, like he's pointing, and he's waiting for everyone to move because he's in somebody's arms at the moment.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So is this a unanimous thing?
Nope. I want to turn to the whole group. Okay, guys. These chickens ambushed us in the middle of nowhere. I guess at least if they were to survive in this place, they would have to have the same pendants that we have. And I go around on the corpses and take them. We can at least salvage this. I think we would help our cause as well. And these
okay. So I'm going to interrupt you there. All right, you look along. You look at each of. Are you looking at each of the Kenku bodies, or are you just looking at one of the Kenku bodies?
I'm going to go around each, and I hope the rest do the same.
All right. So it's going to take it'll take you a couple of minutes. Let's say about 5-10 minutes to search the bodies thoroughly. What you would turn up is each of them seems to be carrying a talisman that looks like it's made from a blackbird's claw. And it seems to be giving off similar vibes to your Wayfarer's pendant, but far, far weaker. In fact, as you hold it, as you hold onto the pendant, you can feel that. I mean, I would say you, Zario, will be able to feel it. Not really a problem here, considering you did do an analysis of your pendant when you were back in Mammoth there. You'll be able to feel that the difference in strength between the spells, they're very similar, but the one that you're carrying is far more powerful than the one that this individual was carrying. Also, can you each do an investigation check, please? If you're all taking part.
I'm gonna exclude Melmon from this because he's just gonna be sitting in the arms of Nelly.
Okay, William, why are we on advantage for investigation?
That was just an accident.
That's
So
okay.
just take that 5.
Yeah, I always take the left hand side in case we do have a mistake. So, all right, Cowrie.
We'll take a look around on that advice. Yep.
All right, so Cowrie, Daryl, Zariel, and William. Yep. Okay, so Cowrie. Basically, Canary and Caron are sort of standing to the side, seem to be chatting about something. Carrie is sort of Caron is sort of seems to be asking questions about so what would be what's the do you have different grave rituals to the these other fleshy beings? Do you worship Hades? So he's basically asking her about the rituals that she undergoes as a dragonborn, or whether she worships the same gods. While you're looking around, Carrie, you're searching through the bodies of one of the Kenku. This one seems to have a slightly finer cut to his robes. It seems to be it's not like it's better material, but it seems to be like it's been better tailored than the other corpses that you glanced at on your way to this corpse to investigate it. You also find a small piece of parchment in its pocket, and on that parchment you can see what seems to be a map indicating this clearing in the woods, and what seems to be a projected time for some sort of rendezvous or meeting. It seems to be like written down like a time or a some sort of but it's a time. It seems to be like almost like a timestamp on there, like he's written down that he should be in this area at a particular time.
It seems like this is a planned attack, and I'll show the map to who's nearby.
Perhaps the same person that has, you said that the forge was sabotaged. Maybe they planned this as well.
Okay, you do notice, I think, with that investigation check as well, Carrie, that it seems to be roughly around the time you guys arrived at the clearing.
Not much before. Huh.
Seems to indicate about roughly 3 hours after you would have left the gates of Manather.
Huh. Well, I'm definitely giving this to the person who told us to search the Zariel, I think it was, who told us to search the bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, show us that.
I'm going to take it, roll it up, and put it in my backpack.
Okay. Fantastic. The only other things you find on the Kenku are about 3 pretty poor quality short swords and 3 daggers. Again, pretty poor quality.
Are there any like gems or money on the Kenku out of curiosity?
Doesn't look like it. A small pouch with some odds and ends. Maybe a couple of copper pieces, but nothing major.
At all shiny? Are any of the metal pieces at all shiny?
Well, you mean like the swords or the coins?
Anything,
I could say maybe there's a few let's say you find amongst them about 11 copper pieces between all of them. And probably maybe 1 or 2 of those are particularly shiny coins, like someone's been maybe playing with them, flicking them in the air and catching them, do something to pass the time.
Okay. Melmon would notice. Actually, let me check if he would notice. I'm gonna roll a perception check.
Okay, 9 dull copper coins and 2 shiny ones.
Yeah, because that's kind of small to notice from someone who's not really doing the investigation check.
Yeah, go on, do a perception check.
Yeah. Perception is +0. Roll normal.
Okay. No,
No, I don't think I noticed.
Minimal has no
Belay
clue.
belay that. I was going to try to eat them, but
Basically, you're at the moment you're being thrown up in the air by Nelly. She's going, "Oh, aren't you the good little slave? Here you are!" And she's like throwing and catching you, throwing up in the air and catching you.
speaking of, we should probably move over here.
There you go. Throw up in the air and being called over and over again. Okay. Alright, so Nelly turns back. She catches Minimal for the last time, turns around and goes, "Are you done? She'll be on our way."
I want to spend a few moments before we leave here to look for Nellie's compatriots.
Okay,
See if there's any bodies nearby.
alright. I would say with the... I would say, if you want to do that, you can. I would say probably take either an investigation check or a survival check. Okay. So William, by looking around the clearing, you see what seem to be marks on the ground, like someone has dragged a person across the clearing. In fact, there seem to be 2 sets of drag marks that lead off into the woods. You could follow them, but you would be leading the Sithis way.
Okay, I don't want to tell her that I see this because I think it would just upset her. Since we can't do nothing for them.
Okay. All right. Do you tell Caron? Because if you do tell Caron, he'll probably want to go off because he's, as a grave cleric, that's kind of what he does.
If there's nothing we can do for them, then no.
Okay.
I'll just stay silent.
Okay. All right. So you know that probably her companions are dead and that the Kenku have disposed of the bodies. You don't know why she wasn't disposed of, but you do know that her companions must be buried somewhere or hidden somewhere in the underbrush. That logical leap. Okay. I'm going to ask you, as DM, your party is it? So we're not doing the rest. We're going to head straight on to. We're going to head straight on to Care Matthias.
Correct.
Okay. So first of all, I'm going to switch the map. So you're going to be traveling. You travel about an hour with Nelly leading the way. You are able to avoid several pitfalls and several undead individuals that have wandered onto the path. Dang it! You managed to avoid an encounter because you chose to take Nelly with you. Nelly leads you through several paths and several sort of hidden outcrops of the Sithis way that seem to branch off from the main path, but still lead back to it relatively quickly. But in doing so, you manage to loop around several what look like several spots of darkness, several spots of danger that you possibly might have blundered into otherwise. And you end up. I'm going to move us. Sorry, I apologize again. This is a hand-drawn map. You end up outside Care Matthias. So you'll be ending up sort of like down here at the drawbridge, and this is the main city. Now, Care Matthias is as you're sort of walking down along the way, Nelly tells you a little bit about her home. It is an outpost that is mainly populated by Elvish races, and elves and Elvish subraces. There are a number of other individuals here, including a number of humans, but it is a very small outpost. It's mainly meant to be almost like a hunter's outpost. So that one of their main exports is fresh meat and sort of like natural goods you gather from the forests. The elves are particularly good at avoiding sort of the nasties that live around their town, and Nellie is one of the few wayfarers that is permanently stationed here. She's a hunter and a tracker, and she basically she shows you a few of her trick shots. She goes by, shows you with her short bow, a few of the shooting at a few things. She gathers you a few rations, maybe maybe a squirrel and 3 apples. A couple of things to keep you going. So if anybody has any rations they need to replace, they can do so thanks to Nellie. And you end up at the gates of Kermatius. As you enter, you see that the town seems almost deserted. There is nothing that there doesn't be anybody wandering the streets. And Nellie, she turns to you and she says, now, if I know the rest of the population, they're probably hidden up in the fort, up towards the end of up towards the far end of the village. Lord Nightai told me that he was going to gather the villagers in there for their protection while he sent the guards out to try and manage any incursions that we have in case anybody gets through our gates. I never expected to see the drawbridge down though. Who knows what's inside? The steam forge is located in the temple to Sirith, as in the centre of the town. I don't know if you want to head there straight away, but if you want to, we could we probably have to bypass through the town square, or we could go the long way around through the past the apple orchards and the windmills, up to past. Well, basically, we got one of the 5 mil hobbit clans is here, and they've set up a new orchard for us. We could go through there; it might give us better cover.
Is the drawbridge is over water filled?
Yes. So there's a moat around the town. There's a moat surrounding the town. It's almost like a Motte and Bailey style castle. There's a palisade that seems to be made out of a really dark wood surrounding the town, as well as several towers guarding the drawbridge. It seems that the towers seem to be empty or not hailed as you enter the village. There's a number of trees, a tree-covered pathway towards the right. Towards the left, you can see what seems to be a building. There's several horses out to pasture. Seem to be standing there. They don't seem to be bothered or troubled.
You said last session about the wards were failed.
Yes.
Like
so
no more wards.
Yeah. So Nellie. She told you that the steam forge was down. Yes. Every town, an outpost has a number of wards that are set into the very fabric of the town itself. So surrounding this town, there would be a number of wards, and there would be a number of other defences to protect it from incursions. The defences do not seem to be you can't see anything that seems to be defensive in nature at the moment, and the drawbridge is down. So whether the wards are intact or not, you do not know, but these are intrinsically linked to the shards and to the steam forges. So, so who's a cleric here? Sorry, Kate.
I am.
William. So, William, you would know that the shards are. You would know that the shards of the deities are what make these areas hallowed ground. So, while they are still placed within these areas in temples and the holy places, according to the deity in question, you would know that that they would still enforce a form of protection, but that on its own isn't enough to prevent the undead or any other sort of evil incursion from taking place. Normally, these places have other magical wards and natural defences as well.
Would I know that?
Zariel, I think you would know about the magic,
This,
not so much about the shards. What's your religion? Do you want to do a religion check for me? Zariel? Okay, so you know that the gods are important for keeping these places hallowed. You don't know how it works though. You know that the shards are there and they provide protection, but you don't know exactly how those shards are linked into the defenses of a town.
Gotcha. I wish.
Okay, so as you're standing there, basically Nelly, who's carrying Melamon, is she still carrying Melamon?
I imagine so. Unless you have put me down, I would be in her arm.
All right, so she may have put you down to do a few trick shots earlier, but she's still carrying you around. So she's going to place you down on the ground now, Melamon, and draw her bow, and notch an arrow to the string. She says, "We can, if we're quick, we might be able to make it. It's the building in the center of the town, basically, pointing out this here."
Melmon will just sort of nod and start heading in the direction he thinks is the center of the town.
Yeah. So she's saying, shall we head this way, the longer way around, or shall we take the shorter path?
Safer is better than shorter.
Okay. Are you going to be moving stealthily?
Are we?
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I have a bad feeling about this. There was nobody guarding the gate, and it was down. I'm having a bad feeling about this, so very stealthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Surprisingly, Melmon has proficiency in stealth.
Okay. What I'd like to do. Oh, we would target to investigate your music. All right. So what I'd like to do then is I'd like to know a marching order. Who's going where and when, and also I would like to know I would like to know marching order, and I would like to know. I would like you if you want to take a stealth check. If you want to move stealthily, I'd like to take a stealth check now, please. And I will do it.
Okay. Real quick.
Yes.
I would like to point out that Melmon did run ahead.
Okay.
If no one had directed him which direction, he just ran straight. If no one said that's not the right way, or if it was the right way, if it was just by coincidence, he's just already jumping, like hopping forward.
All right. So he's jumping through the trees at the moment. He's sort of like going through this area. Towards.
I mean, like bouncing, and he doesn't really walk; he bounces.
So he's bouncing. He's starting to bounce straight towards the town. So aren't we splitting the party at the moment, guys?
If no one is telling him that's not the right way, he's going to be going that way.
I will try to stop him via using shape water to freeze a half an inch and trying to throw it in front of him, not at him.
Okay. Yeah. So you throw a small, almost like a water bomb in front of him.
Ice ball. I'm going to freeze half an inch around ice ball.
Okay.
I'm going to take it with my hand and throw it in front of him. At least I try.
Okay.
Okay. Catch him with an ice ball.
All right. So in that case, I would like you, Melamon, perception check, and let's say Zariel. Let's see how finessed you are with your magic. Let's say Arcana check to see how well you were able to shape your magic to do that.
Okay.
Okay, so Zariel, you form this basically. Your plan goes off foolproof. It lands in front of Melamon. Melamon is not particularly perceptive to this, but it does force him to turn around to see where it came from.
I imagine it's sort of like it just a little slumps into his body, and just sort of like it absorbs into him. And he's like, "Huh?" He turns around.
Okay, I just have to say something quickly. Zariel and William, and Cowrie as well. Ooh. Okay. You're
Oh,
okay.
that's right, myself.
You're okay. All right. So you, yeah, stealth check.
Yes, I forgot.
Okay.
And
Melamon is
gone.
Melamon is just like he's just vanished into thin air like ninja.
Ninja vanish. Yeah.
Okay, so you managed to start marching through the forested path towards the orchard, which will then let you turn towards the town. Now, William stumbles directly into a tree branch. And stumbles directly into a tree branch, and there's this loud, terrible cracking noise that echoes throughout the area as this tree branch snaps off and then crashes to the floor, being broken from the main tree by your mask. Basically, cracks and it falls to the ground. Luckily, you stand perfectly still for several moments, but it doesn't appear to have attracted any attention. I'm going to ask you to take 2 more stealth checks before we get to things. So we've got to this point here. We're going to take a stealth check here, please.
Okay.
Could after this incident I do something else?
Yes. Let's just quickly get everybody down first, and then 10, 17, 20.
Oh my god!
It looks like Melmon is like really stealthy for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
All right. Daryl, Kellum, basically, your character is too. She's preening herself and checking that she's in tip-top condition. Really not caring about everyone else stealthily tiptoeing around her. William, you got a 10 for that, not 5. I didn't give you disadvantage. Now you got disadvantage, not advantage. Unless you're wearing heavy armor. Are you wearing heavy armor?
Yep, that's why I rolled it.
So William is clanking around, and Daryl is also not paying attention and is, humming to herself a cheerful ditty, i.e. to her, but everybody else it sounds like this mournful tune. And yeah, it appears that even though you basically some birds are startled from the trees. There's sort of an eerie moment where you think you see some movement between the trees at the orchard, but it appears that you've managed to avoid detection one last time. So we're going to do one more stealth check. And sorry, you wanted to do something, Zariel?
Yeah, I wanted to use minor illusion to make the sound of loud crows just trying to make as much noise as possible from the opposite direction, 30 feet to the left of us.
Okay, yeah, all right. You're making the sound of loud crowing and cawing. I'll let everybody take stealth with advantage.
Oh, okay, that helps me. Because now I have to roll again, because I don't want to have an 8. Okay, that's a 1.
Oh my god.
So an 8.
So an 8. William, you get advantage. Well, no, actually you don't. You get it's cancelled out, isn't it? So
finally.
6, 24, 23. So okay, I'm gonna have to do
Well,
this.
finally, Melmon's no longer. I think the crows kind of startled him. He's like,
Okay, I'm gonna have to do this with disadvantage. I think. Sorry, guys. All right. Damn it. All right, I was hoping to get you this one. All right, so despite the smashing, the crashing, the tripping over each other, and pretty much everything else that could have made more noise than a load of crows 30 feet towards your left, you do manage to make it to the entrance of the temple without what seems to be any seems to be any interference. Dang it, I was hoping you at least have rolled at least 1 to 5 in that entire thing, but not at all. All right, so you end up you're ending up here outside the temple. Here, so you can put your character down. I know that it's quite small. Sorry, you might have to make a smallish character.
Can you make the circle on the map so I can see where you said again?
I'm going to move. Yeah, sorry. I forgot to move you guys over. Let me just move you guys over. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Bang. And now I'm just going to zoom in with the other one because it's really tiny. I just realised how tiny it is. I'm going to zoom in for you guys who are watching at home. Let's zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, so you're outside the. You're outside. So you'll need to start outside. If you can shrink your character down so it fits on one of the squares, please. Because otherwise, basically, Melamont is crushing the entire place.
We can't do that. We
don't have the ability to shrink it, looks like.
I'll shrink it for you. There you go.
Yeah, it's GM only. Remember, you can hold Alt while shrinking to make it stay a size that doesn't exactly fit a square.
It's alright, I'll shrink you guys down. Melamont shrunk. That's the wall. Stop walking through the wall. I was very careful to define those walls with hatch marks.
That wasn't on the map yet. There we go.
There is Sithis. She's very small. Zariel, William, Melamont. Dariel is there, and I need Dariel smaller. 1 second. Dariel.
I'm a giant!
She's shrinking! And I need to bring over. You have Nelly.
You have one new message.
Sorry, I'm not. This is my first time using my own maps. Normally, I steal people's for you. So Nelly is there behind you. I need to bring over. Canary basically is going to say, because I don't have a character sheet. I do have it, but I can't use it because it's D&D Beyond and it's not mine to use. So I'm going to say Canary is going to stand at the gate, and she'll be guarding to make sure no one comes in. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Lua. I really am. If you're watching this, literally, I got your character sheet, but I don't know. I can't roll on it. I can. Wait a minute. Let me get it. I might be able to use it to. Might be able to use it just if I know the stats. I might be able to use it. 1 second. Let me go to. Yeah, just Bob. Keep sending me. I love the picture of Bob like setting everything on fire. By the way, just to point out, I love that.
Told you I knew how to draw. I knew how to draw fire, and I showed you a picture of that.
It's really good. I like it. All right, so Lewis' character is here. Okay, got it. Okay, so Lewis, so Canary can join you because I just need to know what her stats are, and I've got it all here. So that's fine. She has equipped her weapons now. Yes, she's equipped her weapons. Whew. Bit worried about that. That I have to do that. And then there is Caron, who is here. Let me bring Caron and make Caron smaller. Caron, I believe, has got about half life at the moment. So Caron has got 6 health at the moment. Just so that I remember. Caron is going to consume, while he's standing there, is going to consume one of the good berries, bringing him up to 10 HP. Just so that I know that. So he's up to 10. And has 1 good berry left. Alright, so you find yourselves at the entrance to Temple of Sirith. Sirith is the goddess of life. She's also the goddess of healing, and she is the undisputed queen of the gods. She has several consorts and individuals that have created the pantheon through her own children and through their connections with other members of the pantheon. The temple seems to be in. It's a very basic building. It's made out of wood. It has almost like a. It looks loved and well cared for, but it's made out of very basic materials. The wood is sort of cut into planks. It's been nailed up. It looks like it's been slatted. It's nicely crafted, but it's simple. There's a small garden that you notice as you're walking through the walkway. There are a number of bushes that seem to be growing different types of berries. The grass is very well kept, very immaculately kept, and the door, the temple itself does not seem to actually have a door, as if it's constantly open to those who wish to enter it. Through the doorway, you can see what appears to be a hand-woven carpet that is, again, quite simple, but has bright, cheerful patterns, reds, greens, yellows, pinks. It all seems to be almost like it was made from someone who had lots of ends of material to work with, lots of different types of yarn and wool to work with, but it seems to be made with care and love. There's a very rustic wooden table, and on it appears to be a box of some kind with a small hole in the lid. That's what you can see from where you are.
Seeing as Melmon is in the front, he's probably going to just start making his way towards the where he thinks he's supposed to be going. So he's gonna probably go. Are we in turn order, or can we just move our unlimited movement?
You should be able to move. At the moment, you're not in initiative or anything, so you can move how you want to move.
Okay, so I'm just gonna try to move immediately to the staircase.
Okay. All right. So Melamon, as you enter the room, so Melamon jumps and skips ahead of you, and then seems to come to a dead stop. As you enter the room, you see what appears to be a hooded and cowled figure standing in front of what appears to be a statue. In the arms of that statue, there is it seems to be almost like a shard of glass, but it's got a pearlescent quality to it, and seems to sort of emanate a feeling of warmth and comfort. The man is standing in front of it, and he has a hand outgrafted towards it. He seems to be channeling some form of dark energy into the shard. So far, he doesn't seem to have penetrated the inner workings of the shard itself, but you can see that he seems to be kind of frustrated. He seems to be lashing out with almost like black whips of power that are smashing against this shard in the arms of the statue. Surrounding him are a number of corpses in different states of decay. Some appear to be just relatively fresh. They seem to be wearing garbs of simple villagers and have longer ears that might indicate that they were once elves. There are also a number of skeletal individuals standing alongside him as well.
Real quick, can I Melmon's an idiot, so he's gonna try to roll insight to see, because he's actually no,
fair enough.
Dead. If he saw, are the undead moving, or are they just bodies on the ground?
They're sort of like standing, they're swaying back and forth. They seem to be awaiting orders. They're not doing anything until they're being told what to do.
Okay, that's different than what I originally thought. So, Melmon's just gonna freeze, look back to the party, look back to the skeleton and zombie and also bad guy. He's just gonna say in a hushed tone and point with a little elongated jelly finger and just say, "There's baddies over there." And he's going to try to stealth over there.
I'm going to see whether the individual heard you go, "There's baddies over there." So
I
let's
would
see.
be stealthing that if that's possible. Part of my stealth roll, if that's okay.
That's okay. What was your last stealth roll? Do you remember?
Oh, it was garbage. It was 8.
Okay, so that's what you were doing to get over there. So I'm going to use that. let's see how well he notices.
Thank God you're not using passive.
His passive perception is 12.
Yeah, that would have
So-
definitely noticed it.
So he hears basically, "There's baddies over there!" So the voice in the corner, he's like, "What?
Yeah.
What's going on?" He sort of starts to turn around. He seems to be looking around. I'm going to see if he actually notices you, since you are technically pretty tiny at the moment.
Yes, I am.
Let's see if he actually notices.
Oh, and I'm stealthing of a 19. Thank God.
Let's see how he
Oh,
does.
that's
Let's see
great.
I don't have his perception. So he actually does not notice you. So he looks around. He's like, "What's that? What's that?" He turns to one of his zombies. "Was it you?" "You can't talk, man. What do I say?" And he turns back to the statue again, and starts lashing back out at it with those black whips that extend from his arms.
Before I continue, I want to point out that Melmon is going to just sort of is making his way using his stealth, just to over towards just really carefully, like really slinking low to the ground, towards the nearest zombie.
All right, I'm
And
gonna.
but before he does that, he's gonna look to the party and just sort of like do a gesture to follow.
All right, Melamon is leading the way. It appears. I'm gonna have to see how well the zombie doesn't notice you. The zombies don't notice you at all. They just stand there drooling. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to quickly add these in as a tab. Otherwise, I'm going to be taking forever doing these. And the skeletons will also not notice you. Not with a stealth roll of 19. So definitely not.
I'm so glad I rolled that. Oh, that's
Okay.
beautiful.
What does everybody else want to do? Because Melamon has basically just gone whoop, 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 and sort of like just moved into the room after pointing out about baddies.
Well, after hearing that, Kiora is going to slowly start to creep forwards. Noticing that he's moving stealthily, she's going to attempt to do the same and try to go out there.
Okay.
I'm going to get out my focus, my crystal sphere with the same crystal rose in it, and I'm going to start channeling power into it and following Kiori back to back.
Okay, are you preparing an action by doing that?
I am not preparing a spell to use as an action.
Okay.
Actually, when I get into 30 feet of the caster and the closest two skeletons combined, I'm going to unleash.
But each square is 5 feet. I apologize. Each square is 5 feet.
When I get within 30 feet of all three of them, the closest two skeletons and the caster, I'm going to use a spell.
20, 25, 30. So you'd have to be here to get all three of them. Like if you want them in a line or something, you need to get all three.
No. I just need the three of them inside the 30 radius sphere around me.
Okay, so I need those other people who are going in after Melamon. If they're going to be going in stealthily, I need you to take stealth checks, please.
Did you say each square was...
It's 5, yeah, like a usual dungeon square.
So Zariel is going to try to stealthily move... Well, if I can get my thing to work. Here.
Okay.
If she cares to be stealthy.
Okay, so Cowrie is moving at a 7, Darrow's moving at a 10. Passive perception of the acolyte is higher. Okay, so I'm afraid. So Cowrie,
I was DMing you something.
as Cowrie and Darrow try to stealthily step into the room,
Card
You-
inspiration before you say?
you're gonna use Cardic Inspiration? Okay. I'll allow you to use it.
How do we use that actually? I've never.
You just
I've
play
never
the
seen
card and add the number to your card.
First, you click the card that's next to your name, and then you drag it onto the map, I think.
Yeah.
Did that work? Do you see it?
Depends where you put it. There you go.
that. Oh,
Okay.
it's King.
So that's a 10. That's adding 10 to your round. So Dario got 20. very stealthy.
I can't. How do I make it go away?
You can. You can choose to put it in like you can just you know you have to send it to the to the discard pile. You have to click on it and then choose discard. Okay, so that's 10, and so that's 10. That's 20. Daryl moves super stealthy. She's about to slip, but then something happens, and she like just realizes, wait a minute, if I put my foot over here, I won't knock into the vase. And she just so she sort of slithers around the table that she didn't quite notice, and stealthily makes her way in. Where's she going? There. Okay.
There.
All right. And Kaori, are you using Cardic Inspiration, or are you going to blunder into the room?
Nope, gonna blunder into the room.
So Kaori, you blunders into the room. Caron and let's see what happens with the other characters that are with us today. So she's got a stealth. Her stealth is +2. I'm going to. I don't know how to use this. It says B, but I can't. I don't know how to do it. So she's got +2 to her stealth. Let's just roll a d20 and see what she gets. So she gets a 17, and Caron gets a. Caron has no stealth at all. But Caron does pretty well as well.
Because he's wearing full plate.
Oh, that's true. No, he's wearing medium armor. He's wearing.
I have scale mail.
You have scale mail on you.
So I have disadvantage.
You have disadvantage. Okay, you have disadvantage and stuff.
+1 to my armor.
Okay. Alright, that's fine. Okay, so make sure that's a tab. Disadvantage on armor.
Make sure that brown rice gets.
Let's see that again. Let's do another stealth check then.
No,
This time she gets a natural 20.
He's still stealthy.
So she's super. So he's super stealthy. So he just sort of. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm moving Melamon around at the moment. So 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So Karen's in there, and she's in there, no problem as well, completely unnoticed. William, how did William do? Did William go in?
Outside, William will cast
Shillelagh Club. Okay.
And if they're trying to destroy the crystal of another life cleric's god, then he definitely is not going to stand for this. He will go into attack. He'll try to, but he's not very stealthy, so.
Okay. Nelly will. She's got +6 to her stealth. So that's what she does. She gets 26. She's a shadow. So she's completely and utterly unnoticeable. William, on the other hand, not so much. So you all move in incredibly stealthy, and then there is a loud crash. This time it can't be ignored. The individual who was lashing away at the statue twists around, and his face just contorts into this rictus of fury. He screams. But he screams in startled alarm as this tiny blob, which is very close to one of his zombies, suddenly extends into a giant creature. Massively giant blob instead of this tiny cute thing that it was before. And he also just completely seems to be flabbergasted by the number of individuals who've managed to make their way into the area without his knowledge. We're having a surprise round.
So as he turns around, the this time again 3 discs around my arcane focus burst out. Three separate beams go out towards the zombie, then the other one, and then to him. Midway through their flight, they turn purple, light purple color, split into 4, and transform into chains, which hitting them, each limb shackle them.
Okay.
becoming tethered to each of their limbs. They have to make a charisma save or be under the effects of Bane.
Okay, I need you to. We need to go into initiative order though, because I need to see who gets their surprise attacks and wins first. Because I needed a specific trigger, Zariel, before I could say what. I mean, I need to know if it was going to be the minute they turned around or something, but I need to know who's going first because everybody else is going to have their own attack or ability as well. So let's get everybody into order. I'm going to get these guys on the list as well. I'm just going to. I apologize, but I'm going to be like putting zombies together and skeletons together just to save time. So let's do initiative for them.
If possible, I'd like to re-describe how I rage, if possible. You were very accurate.
Oh yeah, of course. Sorry, it's my fault. I was looking at it and going, that's what they could be.
You were very accurate, though. You were very accurate.
Did both of mine show up because I accidentally rolled 1 before hitting my token?
Been talking to your mom?
Just going here.
Oh, it looks like it went up. Okay, good.
So skeletons got an 18. Okay, that's skeleton there.
Also, a word of advice. I mean, it's not something everybody has to, but it's something I do. If you go to the options setting by clicking the cogwheel right next to spells, there's a thing below the checkbox where it says add character name on templates, and if you do that, your name will show up on like the initiative order and other places and roles. So that's something I like.
Okay. Thank you. I'll make sure to get that sorted. I'll go and have a look at that. So descending wise, I've got 2 Zariels. I've got on here, just so we wanted to remove 1. I got 2 Williams as well. Both. I'm just going to remove 1. You got the same amount, so it won't affect you. But I'm just going to remove you for that. All right, Canary. I need to do Canary because she should be here separately. So Canary, her initiative is +2. So I don't know how to do that for her. How do you roll initiative for someone who doesn't have a character sheet on the thing?
Roll a d20 and add dex?
I know, but I add it to the turn order.
You can manually do that.
Least. Yeah, you can also manually do that too.
Okay, I'll have to move her over.
Like a cogwheel, and you can just pick add and then type in a name and a number.
Yeah.
Okay, so cogwheel, add, Canary.
Real quick, do you have the ability to add like little pictures for Roll20 to like pop up on the screen and show an image of what a bad guy looks like or something? Because I was wondering if you could put a picture of what Melmon's rage form is for the stream.
You would have to change what Melamon's actual sprite is.
Yeah, I'll make a separate token for him for rage form real quick. Hold on.
No problem.
I'll post in chat real quick as well.
Also, me and William both have 17s, but Kaori goes first because she has +4 modifier. 17 on 1, yes.
Just go to you. I'm just going to quickly change his token picture for now.
And Caron has far too many things on here. And Caron has the initiative of not great, but did really well. So basically, wow, okay, that's a massive melon.
Yes, it is.
I will make it smaller. There we go. So Melamon, despite being big, is not that big. Okay, so
7-6.
All right. So the first person to go is I don't seem to have Nelly on the list. 1 second. Nelly gets her go as well. Nelly the elephant gets her go. She gets her list, and she gets. I can't see what that is. A something. 12.
12.
Alright, so first person to go will be Canary. So Canary is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and she's going to take a single shot at this guy here with her bow. She's going to use her longbow. That's +4 to hit. So rolling 1d20 with +4 to hit. That's a natural 20.
Oh lord.
24. So she's got. God, how do I do this without? I've never done this without having just roll 20 do everything for me. So she was 1d8. So she doubles that amount and then adds on the extra. So she rolls 1d8 plus 1d8 plus 2. So she doubles the 1d8 and adds +2.
Yep.
So she gets 4 plus 2. She does 6 damage to this guy here.
Oh Jesus, that'll work.
So she leaps around the table, spins up. This arrow goes flying, and it thunks into sort of the side of this, into the shoulder of this skeleton. It sort of rocks back and forth, and its teeth rattle in its jaws, but it doesn't seem to be out for the count yet. Definitely took a little bit of damage though. Next person to go is, I believe, would be the skeleton, but it's not the skeleton, so it's Cowrie.
Oh, my token got removed from initiative order. It looks like when I replaced it.
Were you?
Yeah, I was a 17 plus some
right.
odds and ends.
Let's put you back on. I've got 2 Cowries actually, man. I'm going to remove 1 Cowrie. Sorry. Can you pop yourself back on, and we'll put you back on as a 17. Just roll initiative one more time, then we'll upgrade it to a 17.
No problem.
Hammer me.
That's Melamon. Just so I can upgrade Melamon. It was 17.
Yeah.
There we go.
Apparently,
no problem.
I forgot about that feature of Roll20.
I will move you up the list. Alright, so Cowrie, you're up.
Okay, I seem to disappear from the order, but alright.
You were 19, yeah?
17.
Okay, 1 second. We're having okay, so I'll update you now 17. 1 second, I'll move you down. Wait, what's your dex modifier?
4.
Sorry, what's your, yeah, so I'll move you up above Melamon then. So Caron gets to go first. Caron is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sees a someone seems to be using magic on what appears to be a holy crystal, and so is going to cast probably Sacred Flame if we have it. Let's have a look. Closes his eyes really tight because does not like fire. Closes his orbital sockets really tight. Holds one hand forward and tries to shoot Sacred Flame at this guy. So it's DC 13. He's going to do DC 13 with the Acolyte. He's got to do dexterity check. And completely dodges it. So this beam of fire lances out from Caron's hand. His eyes are closed because he's scared of fire. And so he just like goes, ah! And shoots forward this beam of fire, but it sort of, he seems to aim too high and it just ricochets off a small chandelier, covering the Acolyte in glass, but not actually doing any damage to him. Cowrie, now you're up.
Alright.
Okay, I'm just going to reply to Kitten here. Sacred Flame is a cantrip, so it doesn't cost anything. Okay. It's 5 feet per square because it's just my drawing. It's that bad.
I was trying to cut out the thing. So she's seeing Melmon there transform and start to whoop on one of the enemies. She's going to just run over here. Let's run and try to hit this guy.
Okay.
Wait.
I would like to point out that Melmon is mid-transform, not until it's his turn. They're just swelling, growing like he's about to burst.
I think this is a bad idea. Oh well, she's gonna run up and do an attack on this guy.
Okay.
Unarmed strike.
That's 9. That's a hit.
Yay, do I get a second one?
The offhand strike, yeah. But how much damage does the first one do?
First strike does 7 damage.
And
Bludgeoning.
a 9 hits?
Yep.
Wow, okay.
Next one.
Alright, second one is 16,
That's a hit.
and another 7 bludgeoning.
Okay, so I'm going to have to do a quick check here. 1 second. Let's see how he does. Because you've just done quite a few attacks on him. Let's see how he does. Con-wise. Yeah, he passes his con check, so he goes. But he seems to be a little sort of like smacked back. You can almost see like the ripples in his body as your blows pass the kinetic energy through his organs. But this isn't undead. This is a zombie, and he just sort of like he lurches back a little bit, but then he just reaches out again for you, grasping. So that's Cowrie, Melamon.
Melamon, as his turn finally comes around, he fully transforms into this hulking, after like hyperventilating for a couple seconds and just like sort of psyching him up, he starts to like swell and transform into this big hulking behemoth, about 7 feet tall almost, with spikes coming out of one hand and a shield manifesting in the other.
Oh, nice.
And he is going to do a strike at the skeleton that got hit with the arrow.
Okay.
With, I believe, his Morning Star is the correct one. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is the Morning Star. Yep, that's the one. He does not have Reckless yet, so he's not with advantage. Normal hit. Oh,
That's most definitely a hit.
Yeah, hopefully it's a little bit more damage.
How do you want this to look?
I imagine it's sort of like he just brings his overhead strike with his little spiked hand, just sort of as it's like sort of spiking out, like the spikes pop out as he's lifting his arm, and he just sort of slams it into the ground, and the skeleton shatters into a million bones, and he just sort of yells, "Bodies will sleep."
Okay, so you basically, some of the bones are fractured into dust, the others just fly off into like almost like shrapnel into the just with the force of the blow, flying backwards, clattering off the different cushions and off the staircase, and yes, you have pulverized.
Yes, I'm just going to lumber my movement in between there, to give some advantage, and also just terrify the heck out of that acolyte.
Okay, fair enough.
Leer at him from
what the hell?
Yeah.
What are you?
Melmon.
What's a Melmon? Whatever. I'll end you. William, you're up. Actually, no, sorry, William. I don't mean to be mean, but you weren't stealth, were you? You clattered and made a heck of a lot of noise.
So no surprise round?
No surprise round for you. I'm sorry. I think it's only fair. Zariel, you're up. Sorry, can you because I know you were going to do like a really cool magic spell. Can you repeat it for our viewers one more time?
I thought you wanted me to prepare a spell, so that's why I described it as I went in.
Prepared. I'm sorry, it's my fault as DM. I should have asked what was the trigger. I needed to know what the trigger was for your prepared spell.
I just walked in.
I know, but you need to have a specific trigger.
Yeah, the first sign of combat, somebody attacks, somebody gets hit, somebody transforms. round.
No, but, true. No, that's true. But next time. So the spell is in effect. I'll let that go off, no problem. The only thing I want to say is just next time, for my own benefit, because I think it needs to be a little bit more specific on triggers, because I wasn't clear enough, I don't think. So next time, let's be as specific as possible with triggers, because otherwise I sometimes get mixed up as to what's a thing or not. Because I think you have to say, it has to be something like he will attack Melon or something like that as a prepared action. All right, so that's fine. So what does that spell do? Can you repeat? Can you just clarify for us, for me, and this is what the spell does?
First of all, I'm going to move 15 feet further.
Mm-hmm.
So no, not 15, 10 feet further.
But what was the prepared spell that you did? Because I've said that can go off. And what was it?
The prepared spell is Bane.
All right. So all three. So the acolyte and the 2 zombies are affected by Bane. Is that correct? Excellent.
This zombie, the back one.
Mm-hmm.
This one.
And this. All right. Let me just put a little symbol next to each one, so I remember which one has got Bane on them. So Bane.
Okay.
Bane. Okay.
3 beams of light go towards them, turn purple, split into 4, turn into shackles, and chain them down. They have to make charisma saves.
Okay. So each one of them has to make a charisma save.
Yeah, versus 14.
Okay. So Z1 is not going to do it. So the zombie has failed. The skeleton is probably going to fail as well, unless he rolls a 20. It's also going to fail. And the acolyte fails. They all fail.
Okay then. On each attack they make or a saving throw they make, you have to put a penalty of 1d4 to each of them.
Okay.
Attack roll or save. That's my turn.
How long does that last for?
That lasts for a minute. Up to 1 minute it's concentration. As that happens, a little backlash from the spell turns my hand bloodied.
Okay. Alright, so I've got minus 1d4 written next to each of them, so I remember I have to do that. Alright. Cool.
In case you don't know, in case just anyone doesn't know, a minute is 10 rounds of combat.
Yeah, because it's 6 seconds per round.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you though for clarifying that, and also for people who might be new listeners. Always useful to clarify that. All right. The next person up is Nenadiri. She is going to skip in 1, 2. She sees what he's doing to the crystal, and you can see her hands fly to her mouth and shock. She speeds forward, and she's going to take a shot. She's going to take a shot to the acolyte. I think that's what she would do with her bow.
What's her reaction to Melmon, out of curiosity?
I don't think she's quite. She kind of looks at him for a moment, and then she kind of sees it's almost like a little Melamon is superimposed over him. It's like this is an instinct, She's like, I know this. This is mine. This is my Melamon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool. Okay.
It's like a little Melamon going inside of the big one. She's like, it's him. Okay, I'm all right. Let's go. So she's gonna take a shot. Now she has this thing where if she is taking shooting with bows, Nelly gets 2 shots, not 1. So she's going to shoot twice. She's traditional Legolas with her bow. She can notch 2 arrows with her shot. So she's going to shoot twice. And the acolyte has to take minus 1d4 to hit anyway. So I'm going to take 1d4. See what the subtraction is.
Its attack rolls.
His attacks and his saves. His AC is unaffected.
His AC is unaffected. No problem then. Either way, he's going to get hit by at least one of the arrows. So the arrow comes flying. The first arrow seems to be the trick arrow. He reaches out to brush it aside with his staff, and as he does so, he fails to see the second arrow flying almost directly in line with the first one. And it strikes him in the shoulder. doing 5 damage to him. Ah! Sort of lurches back. So the arrow just appears in his shoulder. He swirls around looking for who it was, but he's just too distracted by this giant Melmon right next to him. He can't really take his eyes off this giant creature. The next one to go would be the Acolyte, but he's not going to go. The next one would be the Zombie, not going to go. Daryl is next. Callum, you're up.
Daryl will move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to here, and we'll cast Eldritch Blast on this guy here.
I love Eldritch Blast. You got Dawn, give us a critical roll. Eldritch Blast!
Eldritch Blast.
Don't know why that's
Yeehaw!
not working.
It's you as you got to do a ranged spell attack.
So we're going to go ahead and roll die 20, add 4 for charisma. So
Okay,
14.
and yep. So 14. Did you do proficiency bonus? 16.
Yeah,
Yes.
It'd be 16.
Okay, so 16. That's a hit.
And Eldritch Blast does 1 die 10 force damage.
Yep, 1d10 force damage.
At 1 point.
I mean, almost like Dariel basically looks up and she just like looks at her nails, buffs them, and just shoots this spark, which just like hits him upside the nose.
Yeah, it's like a finger gun.
Yeah, it's just like hits him upside the nose. What's that? Sort of causes him a little bit of distress up on the nostrils. Okay.
And then, can I use a bonus action?
That's fine. Yep.
Bonus action, I will use the cantrip Mage Hand, and I will cast it toward this guy right here. And what it's going to do is it's going to get in front of his face and just kind of wave and try to distract him from being able to attack.
Okay,
amazing.
I love it. I don't think you can do that unless you are a thief. You have to be an arcane trickster who can do that.
Technically speaking, Mage Hand is a bonus action to control after you summon it with an active.
Okay. All right,
Okay,
so you can summon your Mage Hand.
Idea otherwise, though.
It is cool.
It's very cool.
So basically, your Mage Hand has appeared beside you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So that is Daryl. Apparently, we've got 2 Daryls now. I've got 2 Daryls. I'm going to delete the old Daryl. There we go. And keep going. Zombie is not going to do anything, so we're back to Canary again. Canary is going to look at you guys all like attacking this zombies and acolyte. She's just going to shoot. She's going to shoot at the same zombie again because it's simple for me to do that. So let's see if she rolls a natural 20 again. Come on!
Oh no.
She definitely misses with that one. So she takes 1 shot. But she doesn't want to hit Cowrie, who's like zoomed into view. So she takes a shot, but it just sort of she doesn't put enough force behind it, and it just skitters off the staircase instead of hitting Cowrie. And she's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There to be standing next to Nelly. Next up is Skeleton. So Skeleton is going to he's going to see everyone attacking his master. He's going to lurch up towards Melamon. And is going to just draw its tiny rusty short sword and try to stab away at you, Melamon.
That would be a myth.
It gets caught in your gelatinous body and just sort of like gets stuck there.
Yeah, and I just sort of beat it away with my shield arm.
Okay. Karen is going to go next. Karen is going to close his eyes again and try another Sacred Flame, which is a DC 13, I think, for For him, no, he's going to try. He's going to try. He's going to try Toll the Dead, since there are some injured people around here. So let's try a bit of Toll the Dead. That's always fun. I like Toll
It's a
the
great
Dead.
spell.
It's a brilliant spell. I love Toll the Dead. For one necrotic damage, it's going to do DC 13 Wisdom save, but that's pretty good against zombies. So.
Oh wait, hold on. That is a D8, not the D12 that's supposed to be. So we have to re-roll that.
Okay. I will roll an extra D4 and see what extra we add onto it.
Fair enough.
I know it looks a little bit more, but it's better than just getting. So that zombie is actually going to. The zombie is not going to get affected by it at all because he rolled 14.
Oh my lord, that's amazing.
With the major minus to that, he rolls a 14. This zombie is the most aware zombie that has ever existed.
It's very
It hears the bells ringing for it, and just lurches and manages to get its thumbs into its ears just before the bell rings out.
The most woke zombie ever seen in the world.
Carrie, you're up.
Oh lord. Okay. Wow, looking at all these ones that are still up. Seeing that she's in the way of some of the allies, she is going to take a step back to over here, and she is going to cast a spell. I haven't do this yet.
Cast a spell?
Yes. I have one spell.
Because you're an elf, yes. You have a cantrip.
Yes, I do. And it is... I didn't cast... It is... Roll it. God, put it in the chat. How do I put it in the chat?
Chill touch.
Yeah, but how do I put it in the...
You've got it in the chat already. You've done it twice.
Yeah, you've done it
Yeah,
twice.
no. How do I put the description in the chat?
It can be red text.
Yeah.
I'm trying. It's not working.
You're using the D&D Beyond, aren't you?
No. I don't have D&D Beyond. I'm using a sheet.
Oh, then you go to your spell list itself, and then you click the spell on your, you wouldn't go to the attack part. There you go.
Okay, so chill touch.
That's Shelter of the Faithful. I didn't put that in there somewhere else.
Yeah. You click on the little red balloon at the top of it. Sorry.
Sorry,
I don't have a red balloon on mine. I don't know what's wrong with it.
Okay, so
expand my sheet. Maybe it's shrunk down too much. I
will. So chill touch. If we take the
Well, it's 120 feet, and then it does necrotic damage. I don't know what's wrong with my
it has
thing.
advantage on against undead, and it prevents them from healing. So technically, you would have hit that.
It's the opposite.
I think when you choose chill touch, you actually have to put it like as an option. You can choose as an option to like show the text when you're doing it. You can show the spell card. You actually have to click it like I want to show.
Yeah,
the description.
Yeah,
it includes description and attack. Okay, on. I put it on for you. So try casting it again. I mean, even though it's not doing that. Does that help?
There, thank God.
Okay, so the first one was 2 damage. Then I'm afraid you rolled a 2.
Oh,
That was the first one you rolled was a 2. So that is not going to do anything. I'm afraid.
He has advantage against undead because it's an undead, right?
Do you have advantage against undead? Ooh, if you hit an undead, it has no. That's only if it gets disadvantage on attack rolls against you. That's all.
Oh yeah, I misunderstood that. My bad. I'm
no
sorry.
problem.
It's been a while since I've used that spell.
That's okay. Okay, so I'm afraid yes. You create this. What does your chill touch look like, Cowrie?
It looks like a giant, 3-foot long, translucent skeletal purple hand that comes out of the air and reaches to try to grasp the skeleton.
I'm getting kind of Naruto vibes here, like pretty like Susaku or like the.
I'm thinking about, but it does look like the Susanoo, yeah.
It sounds like Susanoo, doesn't it? It sounds like Sasuke Susanoo.
I remember that.
The purple skeletal hand. I like it.
To cast anything, but yeah. And I guess it misses though.
It doesn't, I'm afraid.
There comes-
I'm sorry. That's you still have a bonus action though.
Did the skeleton, the zombie thing, get an attack of opportunity?
It should have done, yes, because Carrie moved away.
Sorry, I
combat.
couldn't.
No, it's alright, I didn't notice that, that's fine. Sorry, Carrie, you're gonna get smacked with a slurm.
Alright, give it a shot.
It misses terribly.
Yep.
So you jump out the way and it goes, ugh, reaching for you with his hand, stretching out towards you, but you just leap back in time, leaving a shadow of yourself as you do so.
And then the hand goes to grab it, but like has lurched forward so much that it just totally misses.
Yeah, completely. I love it. Okay, Melamon, you're up.
Seeing as the head baddie has been injured, and he is right next to me, and I'm surrounded currently. I'm still focused on the head baddie, so I'm going to try to whack him with said Morning Star Fist.
Okay.
Wait, I didn't add my rage damage to that last attack. There should have been like a +2 to that last damage roll, I believe.
I'm sorry. I'm apologizing to our listeners because I went and minimized something again, which I shouldn't have.
Oh.
There we go. Sorry.
Oh, yep, you're right. Oh, there we go. There we go. So now that I remember that I can add rage damage to this, but to be fair, the last time I hit something, it just shattered.
Okay.
So
it was dead anyway. You killed it anyway.
It was. So.
20! That's a definite hit. That's a definite hit.
Yeah. And I'm hitting the big
kahuna
over there.
Okay.
Yeah, and he is. I forgot to add rage damage, so that'd be a total of 8.
Okay.
Not 6, because if I remember correctly, that is how much rage damage I have.
Okay.
It is. Yeah, 2 plus. Yeah, there it goes. There it is.
Okay. What do you want this to look like?
Oh, did I kill him too?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. So I imagine while he was focusing on the Eldritch Blast that hit his nose, I just sort of, similar to before, I just sort of raise my hand. It grows even more spikes and grows twice as, like, almost as big as my body, and I just sort of slam it down, and he just sort of crunches, like, inward on himself, like, and just, like, folds in and caves, and his head skull is caved. And I just say, smash!
Okay.
And,
he has been thoroughly smashed. Okay. There is now a robe, it's like a mulchy robe at your feet, slowly spreading what looks to be like black and diseased looking blood in all directions. William, you're up.
Okay, William will sprint into battle. With his movement speed, he can make it to here.
Mm-hmm.
And he will attack the skeleton to his left with his club.
Okay. Wow, yes, okay.
For a total of 11 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, I'm going to have to roll on this quickly. So that was 11 damage. Wow. So I'm going to have to... This guy, we're going to have to see how badly you hit him, because that is some severe damage. So I'm going to have to do a quick con check on him. Which he fails. And he is knocked unconscious, which for a dead person kills him.
Cool. Right on.
So how does the shillelagh look when it comes down?
It's kind of like shimmering with the radiant light of my magic, and I would just bring it like a backhanded attack to his face.
His head flies off. Like it flies off like you know, like a baseball in the major leagues. Just flies into the wall, shatters into 1,000 pieces, and the rest of his body slumps to the floor in a pile of mouldering bones. it basically flew off and then shattered into 1,000 radiant pieces. So well done. That's another. My gosh! Stop destroying my guys so quickly, guys. Stop being so efficient. Okay. Zariel, you're next.
Okay, so I'm going to do a mad dash to this fucker right here. My focus flying at arm's reach to my right. I pull out 2 daggers from each from the belt on my waist, and I'm going to make 2 dagger attacks at the zombie.
Okay, so making 1 dagger attack and then 1 offhand dagger attack. Yeah? Yep. Okay, cool.
First,
that's a miss, I'm afraid.
I go to the left, but I'm still running and I miss. 10 on the second one.
That is a hit. Yes. So the second one in the offhand is a hit, which I believe would not do wouldn't get the extra with it, just as the full 4. Okay. So 4 damage. Nice.
This time on the right, you go over. I managed to catch his right arm. Not much damage though. That's my turn.
Lovely. That was very, very cinematic. I like that. 1 miss with then a backhand slash. Now Diri is going to take her shots at the zombie next to Melamon. She's like, "You stay away from my Melamon!" 2 shots. I don't know if she treats you as a person or as a pet at the moment, Melamon. Sorry, she's just kind of like, "God, he's cute and green and squishy."
Yeah, that's kind of the kind of consensus that he's just always been given.
Because she's not seen the big brute. She's just that's 2 hits from the short bow, doing 7 damage in total to Zumbo. Okay, he's looking like he's falling apart. Not quite dead yet, but he seems to be. It seems to have one of his arms has dropped off, his jaw's hanging loose, and he's peppered full of arrows. And also some broken bones where he was hit by cavalry. This one here, and that was Nadiri. Next one is the zombie next to Zariel. He's going to lurch and attack Zariel. Can try and slam you to the ground. I think that misses, doesn't it? And the other zombie is going to turn around and he's going to. He's not very clever, is he? You just attack the closest thing. I'm going to go 1d4. 1 and 2 it's Melamon. 3 or 4 it's William. He's attacking Melamon.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to try and slam Melamon.
And he's still baned, if I'm not mistaken, too.
He is baned, so he's definitely -1. So that's an 8.
Yeah, that does not hit.
Yeah, it does not hit. So basically, his hands just sort of like jelly through your body, but don't actually do anything to you.
Yeah.
Sorry. So that was. I think I skipped Daryl by mistake there. I'm sorry, Daryl. It didn't do anything to the thing. So Daryl, you're next.
Hey, I'm last. So you probably haven't skipped me, have you?
No, it should have been the zombie, then you, then the other zombie. But I did both zombies next to each other.
Okay. So I'm just going to draw my sword, rush forward, and attack this guy right here.
Okay.
Don't have to leave here until you're ready.
And now my
short sword attack. Ooh, natural 20!
Oh,
Yes!
Stay in school there.
Yeah, go on. How much damage is that? What does this look like?
She's going to rush forward, pulling her sword out of the scabbard as she moves forward, and then just one smooth motion slashes across the neck of the zombie.
You didn't feel safe, but you
Okay, so the zombie's head just parts from its body, So it's not entirely parted. It's just like a tiny flap of skin holding the head on. It's like the head just sort of like lurches to one side and slips off the neck, but it's still like hanging by a tiny thread of skin. It falls to the ground and just lies there.
And as that zombie falls, she reaches out with her other hand as a bonus action and casts Eldritch Blast again at this guy over here.
Okay, Eldritch Blast is an action, so you can't, I'm afraid. It's not.
It says Eldritch Blast for a Hexblade is a bonus action.
Is it?
No, it is not.
I don't believe so. No, not when I was playing a Hexblade.
No, it is not.
Open the book up again.
Maybe is that something you can take as like something later on, like with like
You can
patents?
add your proficiency. You can add your charisma bonus to damage rolls. To
All right. I don't think you can do that, Kellen, because I played Hexblade. I don't remember having that option.
To do that, to do that, there is an item that does that. It's a very rare magical item.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well then.
Sorry, I need to do a quick check first. So that was 5 plus 13. So I need to. Okay, let me just quickly do this. I need to do a con check.
Just in case its undead fortitude makes it live still. Wait, no, critical hits don't let it do that, do they?
Actually, you're right. It doesn't. You're completely and utterly right. I've never used these before, so that is a. But that's true. I was looking at it, and it says unless it was a critical hit, which it was.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. He collapses to the ground. His head that was held on by a tiny bit of string, a tiny bit of sinew, suddenly pops off and rolls onto the ground. All light vanishes from its eyes.
Why did they go away and stay away for so long?
Canary is next, I believe. And so Canary is going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and is going to take a shot at the zombie next to Will. Sorry, not next to Will, next to Zariel. And it's just a 1d20 plus 4. So that's a 16, so that's a 1d8. It's a longbow, 1d8. Yeah. So 6 plus 2. So it's going to do 8 damage to the zombie. So that's okay. Next up, so Canary spins around, running over the cushions, leaps behind one cushion, dives, and takes a shot with her longbow. The arrow whistles past Zariel, slamming straight to the gut of the zombie. Doesn't seem to knock it over, but the kinetic force pushes it back a little bit. You can see it seems to maybe torn or snagged something in the zombie, seems to be lurching a bit more heavily. But other than that, that's everything that we can see. Next up is Charon. And Charon is going to pull out Mum. It's going to pull out Lily, and with a snap, Lily extends into Mum, the scythe. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But because it's a scythe, it has reach. So he's going to hit someone with the scythe. I believe this scythe has a reach of, is it an extra 5, so it's 10 feet? It counts as a glaive.
That's 10 feet. Yeah,
it's 10 feet.
So, it's going to...
Same sets as glaive, yeah, that's correct.
Cool. So, licking out with the scythe, it comes flying forward. Karen is going to attack with that. Oh! Perfect. Okay, cool.
Well, it's dead.
I'm happy. Doing 18 damage with
Lord.
one blow, and I'm not even going to try. So Carol's like, this shall not be, and lumbers forward. They lash out with their stuff. It grows as he flicks it out. The haft extends out backwards. and the blade seems to double in length. He slashes out, and the bisects the zombie, turning it into 2 piles of mulch.
Oh, I love this.
Okay. That is, and I'm going to say this now to Kitten, who's watching but is not playing. That is the most cinematic that Mum will ever be in the game. The one game where she unfortunately couldn't be here, and we get this badass moment with the stuff.
Oh, I thought we were PG-13.
We're allowed to say badass
Okay.
once, and I used it. The one game I don't play and the DM does epicness. Tar, thank you. That was fun. I haven't got to do that before, so I felt very much like a character from Ruby. Right then.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Ruby. Yeah.
I felt a bit like Crow or something with his sword
Is
to
it
the
also
side.
a gun?
It's just a gun. It's not a shotgun, I promise you. Although we did play with the idea of the fact that she has a crossbow it being part of the side, but then we thought we might be playing a bit too much with her.
That'd be beautiful. That'd be amazing.
Oh,
Later on, we might find an artificer to connect them together somehow.
Just like it shoots it's gonna be arcane focus, and it shoots magic out of a shotgun barrel.
Well, guns do exist in this world, so if anyone wants to use rifles and things, they do exist, but not like machine guns or anything like that. So we don't do that. I'm talking like flintlock rifles and things like that.
Yeah.
Or steam-powered weapons. Nothing too much. Okay. All right. So that is every member of the undead seems to have died. As soon as no danger enters with your rituals, they leave. Sketch ability cares about the enemy. Okay. So guys, we're out of initiative order. Well done. Second encounter has been completed. With these guys at least. We're going to take a quick break, I think, so that we can all adjourn to the bathroom if we need to, and I can get another cup of tea. All right. So we're going to go for a 10-minute break, and then we'll be back. So we take 10-15 minutes. We'll be back then. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Bye, guys. See you in 10. Time. Okay, are we back? I think we're back. Yes. Okay. Whew. I almost scared myself then with that. The transitions are awesome. Kitten made those for us.
I know, right? That was great.
Really good job on those. I said, this is why she's tired out now. She spent all day making transitions and things for the game.
Yeah. Understandably so.
I know. All right, so you're currently standing in the Temple of Sirith, who is the goddess of life, healing, and light. The temple is as I said, it's quite a rustically constructed temple. It seems to be made out of wood and different sort of shades of wood, dark, light, all very neatly carpeted together and very carpeted together. Very, very well made, but again, very, very simple. There's a large statue of Sirith in her cloaked and robed form, standing on a pedestal towards the northwestern corner of the room. There's a small plinth there where you can imagine that the local priest were doing his sermons. As well as a number of cushions on the floor, which are used for the seated congregation. You can also see the floor is made out of what seems to be some sort of pinkish granite or marble. It's very smooth to the touch, and is at the moment being desecrated by the bodies of a couple of zombie skeletons and the bubbling, smushed remains of what appears to be some sort of magical practitioner. To the north, you can see a set of staircases going up. You can also see there is an enclosed room towards the right. Towards the closed room towards the northeastern corner of the room, as well as what appears to be a sort of a large area at the back where people can meet and chat and gossip at the end of every meeting. There is a small table, beautifully carved, but again very simplistic. Very simple, with what seems to be some sort of box on top with a slot, maybe for donations of some kind, or maybe for delivery of something. And this table is placed upon a beautifully woven, but very bright and vibrantly coloured sort of woven carpet. That seems to be made out of whatever colours the weaver had at the time. Very, very colourful, very, very cheerful, and yes, that's what you can see around you. The room is warm inside. The summer air seems to flow through, in and around, with very little difficulty. Circulation is perfect. There's also seems to be a feeling of contentment and love in the room as you enter, particularly now that the malevolent presence of these individuals has been dealt with. The ceilings seem to be carved made out of wooden buttresses, and there's a number of chandeliers hanging from the ceilings. They seem to be again very simply carved, but with great detail, but with great care. So not detail, but great care, and seem to be, very well made despite their simple nature.
Well, seeing as combat has passed and there's no more things to smash, Melon just sort of looks around, huffs a little snort of hot breath comes out of his mouth, and he just sort of starts to deflate and just sort of he just takes deep breaths, and as each deep breath he just sort of shrinks and shrinks and shrinks back into his equally cute and adorable, well, not equally, much more cute and adorable form, in his tinier 1 foot tall gumdrop form, as he just sort of deflates with sort of like a loud hissing noise.
Okay.
Yeah. That back.
Right. While Melamon is shrinking, Nelly is going to approach the group. Oh, I'll shrink Mini Melamon down. into
Yeah.
mini form and move him. He was here, wasn't he? There we
Yes, he
go.
was.
Mini Melly is there.
Oh, I love that nickname.
Nelly and Melly. Nelly is going to head over to the group to the group, and she says, "Who was that? And what was he doing?"
I don't know, but let's find out. And I start going through his things and trying to find specifically his arcane focus.
Okay, so what you find is, as his arcane focus, you find what appears to be a desiccated hand that seems to have been shrunk somehow, or maybe it was always small, and it seems to be attached around his neck by some sort of rough twine. The skin is leathery and old and crackled, but you can feel the malevolent energies coming from it. He doesn't have a spell book or anything like that, and it appears that his body, as you're standing over it, appears to be decomposing at an accelerated rate. Basically, what's being left behind is just his robes and the focus that you're being held in his hand, that you are holding in your hands.
So, despite the fact that he got crunched, he's even after the fact, like he's just deteriorating even faster than normal.
Yes, basically his bones, his flesh is liquefying at an accelerated rate. His bones are crumbling into dust, leaving behind very little besides a dark patch on the floor and a very nasty smell in the air. What's left behind is his cloak and his
tiptoe away from that.
his cloak is left behind, and the arcane focus which you grabbed off his body is being held in your hand.
I'm going to look up and try to find William. After I do, I will just wave the focus a little bit. Will, is it okay if I call Will on the first? And second, can you help me discern what is this, and if we can destroy it?
I'll do what I can. But seems to be no threat anymore. There's really no harm left in it. The caster is dead. It's just an item now. I don't think it's dangerous.
I agree with you, but still. And I put it on the ground and try to drive a dagger to it.
Okay. So, I mean, you could perform a ritual if you wanted to, like if you wanted to do a laying to rest ceremony or some sort of prayer. You could attempt that now.
Yeah, I will. Being that this is a life cleric, what is it called? A
church. It's not. It's a temple.
It's not to my god, but I'll pray to this god as well, and to my god Imlatar to try to destroy this focus.
Okay. You feel sorry. So as you pray to Sirith, or at least pray to the deity within this temple, you feel a flash of approval that seems to resonate through your very core. It seems that it feels similar to when you speak with your own god. Maybe slightly gentler. Instead of the vigor of life, this is more like the passion that encourages life to flourish. And you can you can feel a gentle sense of satisfaction as it resonates through your body. Your hands begin to glow, and the warped talisman on the ground begins to smoke, shimmer, and then fades, much like its master did, leaving nothing but a small dark stain on the floor.
Excellent job.
say thank you to both gods. And while I'm in contact with them, I want to go over to the gem
can I
that he was
stop you
trying to destroy.
first? Can I stop you before you do that? Can you? Well, as you're moving towards the gem. Can you please do a religion check or an arcana check? You can decide which one.
I will do religion.
Okay. As you approach the dais, you don't feel anything coming from the statue. Not like you did when you were praying just then. In fact, you would say that it did. You would say that you could swear that the feeling did not come from anywhere around or near the statue when you did that prayer.
So was this shard destroyed or something? Is it still there?
The shard's still there.
Can I try to go over, remove my glove, and put my hand on it?
Yes, you can.
I'm going to do that.
But Nalindi looks at you in shock. This is like desecration, but you can do it. She looks, what are you doing? As you sort of step up and touch the shard. Do an arcana check for me. Or religion. I don't mind, you can choose either one.
Same.
It's just a piece of glass.
As I'm
It's well-tempered glass. It definitely had some sort of arcane protection or arcane element to it before, but this is really just this is a piece of glass that used to have an enchantment on it.
I take it out and put it in my bag.
Okay. Nalindi looks at you horrified. Just so you, by the way.
I want to reassure her that if this was the shard that protected this place, it has no power anymore. Or maybe it was
That is a piece of the goddess. You can't touch it with your hands.
If it was a piece of the goddess, it would have killed me at where I stood.
I beckon her to come closer, and I say, "Do you feel your god in this piece of glass? Because I feel nothing."
See how she does. She's not particularly religious, but let's see how she does. Religion. What's the stat that religion uses? Can't remember.
Intelligence.
Is it wisdom or intelligence?
Intelligence.
Intelligence. Thank you.
It's definitely intelligence.
All right. Well, with she wouldn't. I think that. So she looks. She says, I can feel her. I can feel her here in the building. But you're right. It's just a piece of glass.
Someone told.
I don't know if it was destroyed or if it's just a trick.
Well, Zariel, you'll be able to tell him that this was a piece of glass. This was a piece of glass that used to have an enchantment on it. You don't know what the enchantment is unless you know like a spell which might be able to help you with that.
Okay, I'm not going to break it, which I was just going to do. Thank you for telling me that, but I was just going to do that. Never mind. I want to go around the statue to see if there's any residue from this guy.
Okay, do investigation check or an arcana check. You can do either one. If anybody else wants to do it as well, they're more than welcome to wander around and do that as well.
Yeah, sure. Investigation, arcana. What about religion?
You can use religion. Yeah, I'll let you use religion. Whoa, okay.
Shora's gonna ask the Kaori girl, or the other girl. The legend says that this piece of glass is supposed to actually be a piece of your goddess.
All shards are a piece of the god or goddess in question. It's what's left of them after the shattering. But this is not part. This is not part of Sirith. This is just some sort of glass decoy or something, or maybe just a talisman of some kind. This is not a shard.
It's a shard of glass.
So William got a 23. So everyone else is kind of wandering around. You again the place to most people you can see that it's a well loved temple. Whatever the individual you thought was doing doesn't seem to have had much of an impact on the building itself. Whether the building was supporting the enchantment or the enchantment from the previously enchanted talisman or piece of or glass shard. Was doing the protecting, you don't know. What you do know is that something prevented him from doing much damage to the temple. William, you maybe because of your connection with your own god of life, it makes you more sensitive to similar deities from a related pantheon of gods and goddesses. William, you feel the same presence as before, the same presence that filled you, and in concert with your own god, whose own form is more distant here, empowered you to exercise that horrible focus. You feel that the same energy you felt before is resonating within the room, but towards the south of the room rather than the north.
I believe that was a decoy. Think about it, if such an important relic, it's silly to just put it in the open. I think that was just a decoy, but I do feel it somewhere in this room. It's hidden from us. And I start to search in the southern part of the room where I felt his presence.
I will help with this.
Okay, go ahead. You can do an investigation if you want to help.
Well, they're
investigation.
Corey's gonna see some of these stairs over here and try to start looking up like this way.
Okay.
And just go look and see what was there.
Yeah,
right.
Momo's also helping the investigation, by the way.
Momo's helping with the investigation. All right, so whoever's investigating gets advantage, and I will just quickly sort out the stairway.
I wanna cast guidance so we can get a little bit more help.
Okay.
All right, investigation.
I'm investigating them. Okay.
Okay, so who's doing the checks? Who's doing the checks? Who's helping? Who's doing the checks? Okay, so Zariel's has done a check. Do you have advantage, Zariel, because you're being helped?
I was helping William. William casted guidance on somebody. I think it was me.
So you can add D4 to yours if you're the one doing investigation as well.
I'm helping him, so I imagine he also does have advantage.
Yeah, and Momon helped me then, so I have advantage.
You have advantage, and then so you get to roll again then, and you also get to add your 1d4 to a check. So it's 18 plus 1d4.
Plus 1d4.
21.
And I'm going to use Cardiac Inspiration, which is...
Okay. This is overkill. Alright, so you literally...
31.
Alright, so you, as you are investigating towards the south, you find what appears to be an incredibly well hidden alcove. It must have at some point been protected by some sort of enchantment, maybe, or possibly it was just well hidden through engineering. But basically, you find a little alcove towards the south, and in that room there is a small plinth. There are two small chests. Sorry, I didn't have time to draw them on, but there are two small chests, and there's a small plinth embedded in which is what just appears to be a normal shard of dark stone, like obsidian.
It's not, but
William, you can feel, and Zariel, I think with your investigation as well, you can feel that this is where the presence is echoing from.
quick question: are the chests locked?
The 2 chests, they are not locked. No.
I turn around to my companions. I would advise us to stay back, and I summon a mage hand, and as I go back 5 feet and try to open the right one.
Okay, 1 second. Let me just get my list. Where is it? Check. Sorry, I'm just checking. I had it on my page. I just need to check where it is. So let's do. All right. So.
While they're doing that, I'm just gonna roll investigation for whatever I find up the stairs. Go ahead.
All right. So I'm just adding things in there. Let's do that.
And I'm gonna use the Cardic Inspiration because I
All right.
want to go without using it.
All right. Well, which one did you decide to open?
Right.
The right hand. You find a large chest of copper coins. Appears to be about 4,000 copper inside. So about 40 gold's worth of copper.
The same on the other one.
You open the other one, okay. The other one, and I know guys who've got to go upstairs, we'll sort that in a second. So you search and you find, let's see. Sorry, that's not right, that's the wrong list. That's for a different chest. Sorry about that.
No, really.
You find 700 silver pieces.
What line?
Okay, and you find
How dirty are your clothes?
what appears to be a morning star.
They're pretty dirty. Like, have you worn them? Then I would fill it to the top line.
It's a weapon you recognize as a morning star. It is it's a pretty. It seems to be made out of some sort of beautiful inlaid silver, sort of almost. It's made out of steel, but seems to have inlaid silver. Definitely a masterful piece of work.
Wait, you're saying there's a morning star in there?
Yeah.
It's already stacked. You just have to choose whether.
It's a very beautiful. So there's lots of. Within the morning star there is inlaid silver. It has a decorated. It's decorated. It seems to be decorated with swirls and worlds of almost like Celtic tattoos. It's like Celtic or Celtic swirling sort of knots, Celtic knots. And yeah, this is what you find. It is what appears to be a very well made morning star.
And there's a line.
As well as 700 silver pieces.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Callum, there's some background noise coming from your microphone. It's been consistent throughout the whole stream. Seems to be people talking.
I don't know how William will feel just looting a church.
Melmon doesn't have any sense of religion, so he's just salivating at the feeling of consuming this weapon and adding it to his arsenal.
I'm going to open my backpack, get take a shirt out and take a dagger, make it into bandages, or as close as I can get them.
Okay.
Wrap it around the gem and put it in my backpack.
Okay. First of all, the gem is embedded into the wall.
Into the wall?
Yes, it's embedded into the actual wall of the building.
We're stealing the gem that is powering this place.
Yeah, I don't think William's down for that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, no.
It's
out of character, no, but Melmon just oblivious. But out of character, no.
Well, you could. It's actually literally built into the wall. So if you want to try and pull it out, you have to do a strength check for me.
Then I'm not going to ruin my just another shirt. I'm not going to pull it out. I will try to examine it with my Jewel's Tools and to see what exactly is its deal.
Okay. Yeah. You use your jeweler's tools. I'll let you do an investigation with advantage, or an arcana with advantage, or religion with advantage. One or the others, because they're all connected to this object. Okay. Looking at it, it seems weird because like unlike the glass that you felt outside, the glass gem that you felt outside, that actually looked beautiful and had like this pearlescent quality to it. It seemed to be radiating energy. This just appears to be almost like just a normal shard of obsidian. But you can definitely feel from your previous checks, you can definitely feel a heavy presence emanating from within this shard. You can feel it. It feels comforting. It feels warmth, like warmth. It feels like I don't say like a hug. It doesn't feel like a hug. It it feels like gentle approval from someone who you greatly admire.
Or like sitting into a bath, like in a warm bath.
Yeah, like kind of like that, but more psychologically than physically.
Okay.
I'm going to turn around to the others and just yell, "Guys, wanna split some church donations?" And I'm going to back out.
Melmon is so confused. Just like has a big question mark appear of his head made of slime.
You don't feel any disapproval from the shard from taking the money. Just to let you know, you don't feel any the godly disapproval from taking it.
If it's giving us approval, then I will place my hand upon the shard and quietly say a prayer, thank you, and tell the deity that even though that you're not my god, you are in the same family as my faith, and this gold will use to further the name of life.
Melmon is just gonna stare. Has just been staring the entire time at the morning star, and he's like, "Can I eat it yet? Can I please eat it yet?"
I'm going to. So, William, for your prayer, I'm going to give you a little gift. This is the blessings of Sirith.
Oh.
Okay. First of all, for the next 24 hours. Okay, for the next 24 hours, whenever you are required to take a wisdom check, you will have advantage on that wisdom check. Your mental fortitude being bolstered. Okay, so whenever you're required to take a wisdom check, you will have advantage on the wisdom check. Also, and this is also, whenever you are going to cast a spell of healing, you may add 1d4 extra HP to your healing for the next 24 hours.
That's some good stuff right there.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I say thank you to Sirith for this blessing. It will come very much in handy. And I start gathering gold.
Yep.
As soon as Melmon sees him starting to reach for the gold, he's just gonna dart and just glomp on top of the morning star, and it just sinks into himself as he's essentially adding it to his inventory.
But William doesn't mind because it's not made out of wood, and then William can't shillelagh it if it's not made out of wood. So.
Exactly.
If it was a wooden morning star, he would have been all over it.
Tell the party that you're not robbing this. It has been gifted to us in some sort of way.
While this is happening, I believe Cowrie and Darrow wanted to head upstairs. Is that right?
Yep, definitely I did.
Okay, well I've uploaded it up the next level. If you look up, there you go. Yes, I meant I'll have to move the map on the other one. There we go. Let me move it up so we can see what. Ooh, I've gone and zoomed in. 1 minute. I zoomed in, but didn't actually move. Here we go. There we go. The second half of the map. I'm so pleased.
Yay!
I get to show the other half of what I drew. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So as you head upstairs, you head upstairs. You enter a scene of carnage. There appear to be several bodies of young elf peasants spread along the top half of the room. So sort of like this. I couldn't find any dead elf like tokens. Nobody seems to want to have made them. If anybody makes dead elf tokens and would like to share them with us, I'd be very grateful because I don't want to have to draw dead elves. But
Yeah.
basically along the top here, there's the doors are to what these doors are lying ajar, and inside you can see what appear to be several beds made up for the sick and weary. You can see there are side tables with bandages and candles and and a number of other medicinal tools. You can find there's a you can see that the blankets have been thrown back carelessly. In one of the rooms, there is an old elven man lying in his bed. He seems to have been mauled or torn apart by grasping hands. The others seem to have been stabbed by blades and are lying prone on the floor. Sorry, Dario, I'll make you smaller. There we go.
Oh.
I have a token too, but wow. Well, she will look down at all of those and just feel not much, but a little uneasy. They're all elves, and she's also an elf. I think how easily this could have been her if life was different. And she's investigating to see if there's anything up here that were of importance, maybe that these creatures would have been looking for. So I rolled an investigation, and I got 20, including my inspiration.
Okay. Looking around the room, you can see, first of all, you can see that it appears to be quite. It seems to be slightly more decorated than the lower tier. Towards the left, you can see that there's a number of towards the north western side of the room. There appears to be a number of sort of cushions on the floor, like there were downstairs. These seem a bit plusher, a bit nicer, more embroidery, sort of floral patterns on the cushions. It appears to be, from where you're sitting, you would be able to peer down into the. So this area here would be down on the lower level where the statue is. So you can sort of peer down into where the statue is below. And watch the ceremonies from a seat of elevation. Most likely, you can surmise that noble families or people of higher status would watch ceremonies from up here, where they could be slightly apart from the everyday workers and commoners within the within temple itself. Looking around, you also see that each of these rooms has been entered, has been ransacked. Things have been turned over. Chests have been kicked open. The bed sheets seem to have been pulled off the beds. The bodies of the bodies seem to have been dragged. Sort of maybe one of them has been sort of dragged out of the room. You sort of like see it being dragged down here, being pulled out of the room to make way for investigators. You do find in this room here, you do find a healer's kit on the table. Okay, so you find a healer's kit. It has it seems to have most of its bandages in there. I'm giving you a kit with 7 uses.
Alright. I'll add that to the inventory.
Okay, so 1 healer's kit with 7 uses.
Alright.
You see towards the south there appears to be a longer corridor leading towards another room. The door is ajar.
Alright, and what can we find in this room? Should I roll another check?
Okay.
Gelatin.
Are you going down as well, Daryl? Kellen, you know?
I'm gonna follow. Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to keep my mic muted so it doesn't aggravate me.
It's okay.
Thanks.
I'm going to follow. I'm just going to follow along, and if we come across any of the bodies, I'm also going to check the bodies over. That kind of thing doesn't bother me at all. I don't care what they are, dead, alive. I'll look through their pockets.
Okay. All right. You find several odds and ends. Most of them are actually don't seem to be wearing anything. They were carrying much with them. They were probably here being treated. So their pockets are, for the most part, empty. You find a small prayer book in one of their hands. It appears to be mainly pictures, but those drawn of what appears to be a benevolent deity with shining golden dragon wings, gesturing down, rays of light extending from her arms. Her cowl is hidden; you can't see her face, and she seems to be sort of as the rays are reaching down towards what appeared to be sort of cheerful farming community. Below, you can see the crops seem to be blooming. And you can see what seem to be two young children standing at her sides, one male and one female. Both of them are sort of looking down at the people working below mischievously.
Okay. 1 second. So she will pocket that book and just continue along.
Okay, so you've got a book of prayer materials. This is basically like a prayer book, a religious text for the pantheon of Sirith.
Yeah, it really doesn't mean a thing to her. She just wanted to keep the book.
Well, you never know when it might come useful when you're posing as a religious individual,
Right.
etc. All right, so Carrie, the door is open. The room inside looks relatively plush. You can see there are several bookcases to the north, as well as a bed and a chest alongside the bed. There's a very nice, well-woven rug on the floor, and a desk towards the bottom of the room, which appears to have it's quite rustically built, but very well made. Some interesting carvings of lilies and other flowers into the wood itself. Someone definitely spent some time working on it. There's several books on the table, as well as one that appears to be open. And the sheets of the bed seem to be stained with dark reddish brown stains. The stains of themselves extend out from the bed towards the south, long streaks and patches of dark red on the floor, soaked into the carpet, as it will be extending out towards towards what appears to be a doorway, reaching towards the south. The actual room itself is silent, calm. There is no body to be seen within the room.
Well, she can guess that probably means that they killed people here and this is where they got those bodies from. She's going to, first of all, see if that chest over here is on.
Okay, so you always look in the chest. Why is there the first thing people do? What's in the chest? So first of all, so you find a small box. Includes a number of coins that seem to be linked together with a string. These coins are platinum. You find 40 of those. 40 platinum pieces.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
This guy seems to have been skimming off the top a little bit, maybe.
Fucking lucky.
Yeah,
This
that's.
is why you check the chest first.
You also find what appears to be a very nice suit of armor towards the bottom of the chest. It appears to be made out of some. It appears to be made out of what seems to be some sort of bands of armor, like stretched over one another. Let me just find out the stats for you. 1 second.
Alright, well, so far she'll take the platinum and she'll leave the armor there, and she'll mention it to someone else when she comes back down later.
Cheryl just smiles as she's watching her pocket the platinum.
So you find what appears to be a So you find a suit of mail. It is where's my list gone? I had this earlier and I lost it. This is very annoying. I'll tell you in a second. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you what it does in just 1 minute.
All right, we'll change it.
This is the part of the journey where we loot everything.
Maybe not everything.
To be fair, when Melmon loots, he just eats things.
Okay, so okay, so basically it's almost like you know like how Roman armor, the banded strips of metal,
yes,
stretched across the body. Basically, this counts as a breastplate. It counts as a breastplate, medium armor. It has no magical properties that you can tell as of yet, but it seems to be strips of metal sort of held together with supple leather. Your arms and legs are not particularly protected, but it does protect your vital organs.
Is there any sign that anything might, looks around, looks at the bottom of dressers and things like that, just to make sure somebody like this wouldn't have hidden something in someplace special?
We are just complete looters.
Okay. Sorry.
Like we're playing Skyrim.
It is a bit like Skyrim, isn't it? It's like, I will take this. I take these cheeses, and I will take 1,000 apples off people's tables.
Yes.
So.
I just
Yeah. So, is anyone taking the armor? So I know who's taking it.
I imagine he's going to come downstairs and inform us, and then whoever wears
it
will probably
all right, you do that then.
Yeah, I plan to do that, but if there's nothing else in the chest, I will, Kaori will go over and take a look at this book over here on the table.
Okay. The book appears to be a diary entry of some kind. It seems to be written in a rushed hand. The other entries you can see seem to be quite standard, routine. Looking back, you can see they mentioned the possibility of a good harvest this year. They talk about Sirf's bounty. They talk a little bit about preparations for a long winter, and then you can also see that that mentions their need for a town meeting regarding the steam forge. On the final page, you can see it says that the individual in question, the high priest or whoever owns this room, was summoned to a meeting with Gary Night-Eye up at the forge, where he was informed that the engineers and artificers have determined that something has gone drastically wrong with the steam forge. He was questioned heavily as to who may have entered the church, who may have gone down into the basement levels of the church to basically to enter into the steam forge sanctuary. and who may have possibly wanted or had the motive to damage the Steam Forge. Though the writing gets more, the writing seems to get more and more frantic. He's obviously panicking and getting his thoughts out in a jumble. It doesn't seem to make much sense at times. Chronologically, it seems to be jumping back and forth all over the place. But the thing which seems to be highlighted again and again is that the wards are failing, and that the Shard itself cannot maintain the protections of Care Matthias. He mentions that the lower levels have been sealed until such time as until such time as replacements have come to Care Matthias from Manather, and that he and his priests will be holding a vigil to pray for their safe return that evening. That's the last thing you can see in the book. It seems to be more of a diary entry or a personal journal of some kind.
Well, she'll flip that shut and take it downstairs. And if that's all, unless there's anything over here on these bookshelves or anything else of interest up here, I guess it's time to start heading down.
It's not really. There's nothing really on the shelves. It's more like a sort of a horticulturist's guide to growing good apples, and it's not really the most exciting of reads. If you're very interested in botany, there are a few interesting volumes there.
Is there anything about food there?
About food? Yes. Well, there's some stuff about animal husbandry. About
I'm not there, so it doesn't matter.
I'm just saying there are a few things on there. Whoever was here may have been a priest, but you understand he is from a farming community or from a rural community, so these sort of things are common there. Yes.
Meat pies.
I'm guessing this is a balcony over here, and that this thing is anything in this chest here? Just watering cans?
It's not really a chest. What you can see is that basically it's not a chest like we think about it it's not like a loot chest or anything like that. It's just like a little wooden crate.
All right.
What it does include a little kit that appears to be some sort of it seems to be a herbalism kit of some kind, with a little sickle for collecting different samples of herbs, a little pouch. Basically, it includes some little clippers, some leather gloves for collecting plants, maybe a little pestle and mortar, a few glass lambic jars. So it's basically this guy must have had some druidic passion or some passion for plants, and this is his little kit that he used when he went out to collect samples.
All right. Well, she'll take that too and start heading downstairs with the 2 kits and the journal, and head back over to meet up with everybody else and tell them, well, I found a journal of what happened with the head priest during the last few days here, and the ward's failing. Apparently they were praying for us to arrive at these spare parts, but we're a bad day late. There's a bloody mess upstairs, but if any of you can stomach walk past it, there's an armor left upstairs in the chest as well. Pretty decent one.
Real quick, for the DM,
Mm-hmm.
did the Melmon, when he glomped onto the Morning Star, it is a Morning Star, right?
Yeah.
Just curious, because I was wondering if it is magical at all, if it looks magical or felt magical to him, or could I do an Arcana check on that?
You can do an Arcana check if you want.
Yeah, or have someone else do that for me. Because
it's currently in your body at the moment, so if you want to spit it out.
Well, yeah, okay.
I can lay down.
Either I'm gonna try to attune to it because it looks nicer than my own.
Oh, thank you, Plutonium. Sorry, Plutonium just subscribed to us. Thank you, Plutonium. You're amazing. Sorry.
What happened?
Oh, sorry, Plutonium just subscribed to us on the chat. Thank you, Plutonium.
Lovely. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very appreciated.
Someone just says, like, hey, what's this thing? Can you guys look at it? And and he spits out Morning Star into the face of someone else.
Well, it's essentially, but it's like essentially instead it's less he spits it out and more his gut opens up. His mouth opens up very wide, and it's surprisingly not covered in slime. I like to flavor all of his equipment is just stored in like a mini pocket dimension, like a little that is his stomach. And he can just choose to eat things fully or not. And that's how I'm flavoring all of his equipment.
So I'm just going to interrupt there again one more time. Thank you again so much, Plutonium. You just cheered us 300 bits. Thank you very much, Plutonium. That's really kind of you. That's so awesome. Thanks. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sorry, I just wanted to say thanks to him because that was absolutely lovely.
Whoever has guidance, whoever is going to identify that, or Arcana check that.
Yeah, because if it is magical, I would definitely like to upgrade it, or if at the very least some form of. Either way, I'm probably going to upgrade it to my normal one that I have in my body.
It doesn't. So looking at who was doing the Arcana check?
I'm not.
I'm not
here is the most magical.
I only have a 2.
I have a 0.
It's Zario's
metagame.
Do we have a? We don't have a wizard. That's right. We have a sorceress and 2 clerics.
You have a sorcerer, 2 clerics, a monk, a ranger, and a
warlock.
And a warlock, a hexblade warlock,
and a barbarian.
And a barbarian, of course. Sorry, you are a barbarian. There's an emoji war going on in the Twitch Strahd chat right now.
I can see that. We should totally make emojis of I could help make emojis of little versions of our characters.
You know, if any of you were any of you, please do make emojis of characters. That'd be amazing. Please do, because that'd be great. We get cheer and stuff.
I do Melmon.
Well, we are a affiliate, so we're Twitch, so we can definitely have some emojis. So please help us make some cool Melomonian emojis and little Zariel with his lightning bolts coming out and things like that. That'd be really cool.
I would love to do that. I'll be great. I'd be very grateful.
Please do.
I can try to do Arcana if
that would be awesome. Yeah.
Please, anyone at all. I will give the help action if that helps.
That will help. What is that advantage?
Okay, so it's advantage, and you have basically Melomon is poking at things over your shoulder. I think the barbarian should be actually making things worse, not better. But okay, 15, and you get to add d4, so it's a 17. You can't feel any magic coming from this at all. It does not appear to be magical in nature.
Okay, well then I'm just going to eat it anyways, and just use it as my new weapon, because it's just gonna add flavor for texture to my hands now.
Does Melon have any kits or any tools that he's proficient with or anything like that?
Actually, yes, I am surprisingly proficient in 2 tools: disguise kit and thieves tools.
Okay, not tools that I would have used for examination for this, but he's definitely eaten it for flavor. Okay, maybe this could. But one thing you did notice when you were looking it over is that it does seem to be very beautifully designed.
Yeah, that's kind of what caught his eye to begin with.
Yeah, so it's very shiny, very beautifully designed, and is very well crafted. So, although it's not magic in nature, maybe you could ask someone who has other proficiencies in order to have a look at it.
Yeah. Could you describe what the filigree looked like again, so I can remind myself later to when I transform again into my morning star? Describe how it appears on my arm as well.
Yes, it almost looks like the Celtic knot.
Yeah. Okay.
It almost looks like a series of Celtic knots surrounding this band of a sort of band of silver around the ball, of it. And this is not the part that has the spikes on it. This is just like a band of silver, and it's got this Celtic knot insignia swirling around swirling around it, inlaid with. It seems to be silver. It seems to be inlaid with some sort of glittering dust. You then also have a number of. Large silvered spikes jutting from basically quite vicious-looking angles at different parts of the ball. So it's.
Is this considered a silvered weapon?
You might have to have that checked out.
Okay. Well, as soon as I can figure that out, because I have this tick mark that I could do that's a silvered weapon on my morning star. So I want to know if I could just do that instead of adding a new one.
We'll have to see later.
You might have to see later when you've spoken to someone who knows more about weapons than Melon.
Well, I'll ask someone who knows how to do metal. Because it does look very shiny and silvery, but who knows? It might be like fake silver.
Might be masterwork.
Yeah,
it's like what is it in England? There was a holy relic that was supposed to like contain the blood of Christ. In the monasteries, and it was literally like there was a little tube behind it which was being filled up every day by the monks, and it was duck blood. They were filling it up with every day.
Okay, that's funny. Put duck blood in the Christ blood weapon.
Yeah. Yeah. There were so many scams like that in the English monasteries. It was ridiculous.
Duckus Christi.
The holy blood. That's it. The holy blood of Hales. The holy blood of Hales was a holy relic that was proved to be portion of the blood of Christ. There was many lovely sort of miracles. All that was going for it. There's even a pilgrim's poem for it, but in the end, it just turned out to be duck blood.
And he waddled away, waddle, waddle.
Gotta love it.
Away, waddle, waddle.
Yeah, the power of ducks. You see, ducks are more powerful than we know.
How many party members are there?
Sorry, say again.
How many party members are there so we know how to split this money?
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus. So there's 7 party members.
Okay.
Yeah, split 7 ways.
We're not counting the woods girl who we picked up on the way. She doesn't count. Adopted pets don't get gold.
No, she's not getting any money. That would be 8.
Good. Yay.
Yeah, I counted.
There's 7 of you.
To be honest, Melmon would like priority on the shinier coins.
Copper is the most shiny coins.
No, it's not.
What you should do is give Nelly your share, and she'll like buff it on her sleeve and then feed it to you, one at a time.
Awesome. Okay, I can
like
do
grapes.
That'll be flavor. Okay, it'll be in my inventory.
All right.
So how much is this?
Would you like to? Okay, since we are going to be stopping here, I think in a minute because I need to go to bed. It's 2-something for me in the morning at the moment. I apologize, guys.
And Dara's right. Our Dragonborn's not here, so they don't count. So it's a 6-way split. Yay!
She gets it. Everybody gets it.
Everyone wins.
Everyone gets something, even if they can't be here.
Exactly.
So we're going to. Do you guys want to do a rest at the moment, or are you ready to keep going when you come back next session?
I think Melmon has 1 rage left, so I think he's pretty good, and he hasn't been hurt at all. So no, and he can essentially use his hit dice whenever as an action. So I think he's good at least.
Okay.
I think that we should, at the beginning of next session, look around in the town and then find like a place to rest after that.
Yeah, because this place is covered in corpses.
Yeah, and who knows where the other enemies are.
True.
Okay, what about the XP? Let's get to that.
Yes, I would like to figure that out too. Because we are, I remember correctly, we are almost quite halfway into level 2. which would give me reckless attack, which makes things so much easier. It would make me even more of a barbarian than I already am.
Okay, plus... okay, so for today's session, everybody is getting
7,000.
90 experience. 90 experience plus another 20 experience for interactions. So 110 experience.
Oh, so close to level 3.
Level 2.
So close. Sorry, level 2. Sorry. Yes, you're right.
You also have by the way, did Carrie, did you decide to tell everybody about the breastplate, or did you tell them, or not? I can't
Yep,
remember.
she told him right when she came down.
Okay, did anybody go and get it, or are you leaving it there?
No one as of yet got it yet. You said 120?
100. Sorry, no, 110 experience.
110 got it.
Yep.
And
All right.
There were 40 platinum.
We're so like we're like one encounter away from getting level 2, and it's like tantalizing.
If nobody minds, can I take that healer's kit?
Yeah, you can have
Sure. She'll mention also the herbalist kit and the healer kit, and she'll hand it to that person. Yeah.
Is the sorry, go ahead.
When she walked down, she saw all that stuff, knows right there, and then you're all down here. She walks around and is like, "What the hell is everyone doing?"
And then we were just counting out coins.
Yeah, and then she'll mention the armor
1
again.
for you, 2 for you, 3 for me.
And she'll pull out the string of 40 platinum.
Yeah, by the way, the 40 platinum split 7 ways. Did we already do that?
No. You want me to? I can just calculator it.
Is the armor considered medium armor?
Yes, the breastplate is considered medium armor. It's DC 40.
I'll convert it to gold. That's cool.
Yeah, because that is essentially 400 gold.
Yeah. And then the others were
money.
70.
So
it's essentially like 510. All right, let me do that.
All right, so money's split. Melamon has got the Morning Star.
Yep.
And
I'm sure whether or not it does silver damage yet.
And Daryl is taking the breastplate. Is that right, or who's taking the breastplate?
No, actually, it's the same as what I'm wearing, so I'll just stay with what I have.
Might be.
We don't know if it's magical or not. It doesn't look magical, but we don't know.
All right, no one checked it.
I guess I will look at it, and can I do an Arcana check?
You can do an Arcana check, sure.
Don't see why not.
Daryl, you can definitely sense some magic coming from this armor.
I knew it.
All right, I'll go ahead and take it then.
You feel that you may need some time to study this armor before you realize what it does, though.
Yes. Okay. Melmon is very content with consuming these coins.
And there's a yellow one, and there's a silver one, and there's a brown one, and there's a yellow one, and there's a silver one. Basically, he's like, what is it when Rimuru wants to use gluttony, he's going, and it's like sucking it all in like a Hoover.
Yes, it's just like Kirby.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, yeah, like Kirby. He's the man.
I was getting a picture of him just like throwing them up in the air. I'm just like jumping and just nomming on it.
A couple of coppers left and tossed to the wound. By the way, she's horrified. You get to basically looting her temple. She's not horrified. She's practical. She's a wayfarer like you guys, so she knows. When you have to do some things, you have to. This is not her town. This is not her town originally. She's only here as like a permanent.
Yeah, so she's not mad at us for.
She's not mad at you. She understands what you have to do. You're a
Yeah.
wayfarer, so you have to use what you can to fight.
You want to be horrified? Take a look upstairs.
Oh yeah, don't say that.
What, the dead bodies of all the elves you might know? Yes, that's a really nice thing to do.
Oh yeah, just dozens of dead women and children and families. Yeah, all those.
Oh my god,
Decapitated priests.
it's so dark.
Okay.
Yay!
If we are going to long rest here,
we
might
should-
want to put those bodies to rest with Kara.
Yeah.
Go ahead
Okay.
and get all the rest of us taking a nap.
You're going to take a short rest or a long rest?
I think we.
I
might
would
play
suggest
first
a
next
short rest.
Okay. Just to finish off, then, if you're taking a short rest, while you're doing so, while you're having your short rest, catching your breath after your fight with this individual, Daryl, you spend some time mulling over the armor during your short rest. You're looking at it, you're poking it, you're prodding it. You ask your patron, whoever it is, to sort of do a little bit of a delve into it and see what sort of magic inhabits it. All right. This is this armor. Okay, is called the armor of Seraph's Fortitude.
Ooh.
Okay, it counts as normal armor of its type. So it's a AC 14 breastplate. Medium armor. Now, here's a special rule, and I'll send it to you in a tab so you can add it in, okay?
Okay.
Whenever you get reduced to 0 hit points, you're going to make a con check.
Undead fortitude.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, unless you get damaged by necrotic damage.
Pardon?
Unless you get hit by necrotic damage or a critical hit. Okay? Your DC saving throw must be 5 plus the damage you took. If you succeed your con check beating that DC saving throw, you don't die or fall unconscious, you drop to 1 hit point instead.
Okay, cool.
Very useful.
Yeah. It's why undead are so scary, except it's reversed for radiant instead of necrotic.
Wow, it's just a bit of fun, really, isn't it?
I know.
It's not the most overpowered of it is. I mean, orcs kind of get it automatically, don't they? They just basically just sit back up straight away.
Except they get to do it once, and it's just automatic.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like a nerfed, but slightly like a one-time use, but better version of it. You don't have to roll; it just happens. For the orc one, undead fortitude, you can do it as much time as long as you make that save.
Yeah.
Did we ever decide the treasure split? Did we say that and I missed it?
Oh,
The
no,
gold
we
I
already
put in
got
the
that.
chat.
Yeah, all the treasure's been split up. I think it was for the platinum. It was right above. It's
Okay.
20. Yeah.
It totals out.
I'm going to quickly stop this here, guys, just because I want to say I'm going to stop the stream, guys, because I want to say thank you very much to everyone. We'll continue talking more about the treasure and stuff afterwards. We'll come back with a final tally at the beginning of the next session. I just want to say a quick thank you to all you guys for being fantastic gamers tonight. I had a lot of fun, and I know we only had one encounter, but it was a bit of fun, and you guys seem to have done really well with your roleplay investigations and all playing in character, which I love. So well done to you guys. Pat yourselves on the back. I hope you enjoyed your 4th of July. If you're American. On to your 5th of July now, for me. Just a quick shout out. I'd like to give a shout out to all our members, people who are watching us, and here watching us. Nalindi, Plutonium. You guys are absolutely amazing. And let's also thank you to our Patreons and our subscribers. So we've got Kellum, Plutonium ID. Base operations, and for our Twitch we've got Plutonium as well. Thank you so much, Plutonium, today. you guys are absolutely brilliant. We had a number of viewers and a lot of chat going on, and it was lovely to see. I hope that you were okay with the game today. I know it's still level 1, so there's only so much excitement you can get at level 1 without dying. Basically, if you're a wizard, 1d4 sitting down damage. It's like that.
Yeah.
But you all seem to have come through 2 encounters pretty much intact. I'm actually going to have to soup up the encounters, I think, next time, because I think you guys are breezing through encounters with 5 people when you've got like 8 people in your team.
Will that up the XP as well?
Oh, of course it would.
I hope so.
Yeah, it would. Obviously, so.
Okay, do it.
So I think for next time you might come up against some more difficult enemies. Okay.
How people would say, do it.
Do it. Even with your awful rolls, Kellum. No, you did all right. I mean, you did hit him. You did Eldritch Blast him for 1 damage. You did basically thumb your nose at the guy. That was pretty cool, actually.
I imagine the nose actually made like a little twang noise when it hit yeah.
Like a ruler when you got the ruler on the table. It goes.
Yeah.
That's definitely fantastic. All right, guys. We're going to call it a night here. You guys have been brilliant. You guys at home have been brilliant. And I can't wait to actually get to the final map that I made last week. I gotta keep making maps. Too many maps.
It's worth it though.
And I will be uploading this information to World Anvil, which we're using to maintain our characters, guys. If you want to add into your journals of World Anvil, so we can read what your characters have been doing or how they're feeling, etc. That would be pretty cool. If not, that doesn't matter. We're just going to hear it a bit of fun anyway. I'll be uploading the information on Care Matthias, etc. to to World Anvil as we go. Kellum, you've been amazing. Thank you so much. Bye, Kellum. See you. See you guys. And at home, we'll see you next week on Saturday. All right. Join us again.
All right.
Have a good one.
All right,
Bye,
guys.
everyone. Check out our channel. See you next week.
All right. Take care. Bye, guys.